Well, happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Wait, what? Hi, everybody. I'm joined by Mr. Backseat Bones here, but he seems to have the wrong input at the moment, so he's just having a giggle. He's just having a good time. Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween. How y'all doing? Good to see you all. If you missed the streams earlier this week, Mr. Backseat Bones was around to allow the Discord to join the Hollow Knighting and the backseat fun that we were having. But seems he's on the wrong input at the moment. His giggle's a little undertuned too. My laugh just kind of causes him to flap about a bit. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Yeah, Mr. Backseat Bones was gone from yesterday's stream as he was being set up, wires and all, for Halloween events. The kindergarten Halloween parade went great. It went fabulous. That's why I wasn't here early this morning. Yeah, no, he's totally got my input, so we'll fix him in a moment. But for now, let's just enjoy Mr. Backseat Bones being me for a hot moment here. The Halloween parade went wonderfully. Helped out. It was chaos. The kindergartners were challenged by the school. You had to read a book, and then you would take a little test on that book. And if you passed, proving you read the book, you got to wear a costume that day in school. So my little 6-year-old read an adapted version of 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Wait, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Excuse me, I'm missing a few leagues there. And got to dress up today and do a parade through the school. Here's a little here's a little picture of the little man in his diver best. So yeah, there's a lot of Pete the Cat. Sadly, that means no K-pop Demon Hunters because they don't really make books yet. They didn't know what they had on their hands. It's kind of a Star Wars situation. But he 20,000 leagued under the sea, and the kids had a really, really good time. So I got to do that this morning. That's where I was during the official live letter. I was helping out with a kindergarten parade. Haven't really gotten to see anything from the live letter itself yet. So we're going to get to, I know he's hinging right now. We'll turn him off here in a moment. Like I said, it was an error that he was set to my microphone to begin with. Let's see. Why are you living that life? Why are you living my life? Is it this one? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, he should be all better now. He should just be chilling. He's a delight. I'm actually I'll just do that right now. I'll just do that right now. Why not? Do I have that ready to post? Here we go. Yeah, I'll go post it right now. If you want to see a little behind the scenes on Mr. Backseat Bones and how he works, he's a pretty cool little puppet. And I'll post that right now over on the old Patreon. You guys can take a look at his inner workings. I show off some of his goodies in there. Publishing. Bam. So that's now out in the world. But yeah, he's on an old what you call it, mic stand. Yeah, so I definitely already saw one of the main updates. I don't quite fathom all the intricacies because I was just kind of, wait, what? What does that mean? What is that going on? Well, what's that going to go? Are there going to be spoilers? You mean like to the MSQ? I don't know. There might be images of MSQ that happen, but I couldn't tell you if those are actually going to be a part of this. So I would be vague images. Okay, so be aware there may be some MSQ spoilers in the talk today. I don't think they get into too much because I had to scroll up to see what we were looking at today. And they're usually pretty safe. I mean, if you don't want to see anything like no boss models and all that, this is not the stream for you because they just show pictures of stuff. If outfits are...
Happy Halloween plus live letter day. Also, Kyle plays Stanley Parable stream and Garrett Slay the Princess stream when?
Well, I can't guarantee anything for Garrett, but I just posted it on Patreon. What did I say? Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I'm going to do Stanley Parable. So next week is going to be pretty crazy. I'm going to be doing all the prep for when Garrett returns. So I believe next week is Monday Warframe, where I'm going to go unlock Rhino. I think I'm going to craft out a Rhino. I think I can do that right now. Luke was telling me about that. Tuesday, we're going to have a live call from Garrett from Tokyo. So that'll be at 8 a.m. I'll start up the stream around like 7:30. So 8 a.m., which is 9 p.m. in Japan, Garrett's going to join us and walk us around Tokyo a little bit. Apparently, I actually video called him earlier. His Wi-Fi and all that is working great. He has a little remote hotspot kind of thing going on. So he got to show me around a little bit just in a personal call. So we're going to have a live stream in Tokyo where he's going to show us a little bit of that stuff. Wednesday will be Stanley Parable. Thursday will be endgame prep for Clair Obscure. So that'll be me probably beating up some random chromatic things, getting all the things in the water. We will not be entering drafts or the manor because that'll be something we do together. But, you know, getting my Lune build together because that thing's just kind of messed up right now. CL is a little weak. There's a lot of like cool little things we got in the final end game of Clair Obscure. So I'm just going to be doing some solo testing out, getting the builds ready for our big end game stream as we take on those final bosses everyone have been really interested in. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed by how well the internet is holding up for him over there. Also, thank you at the start of the stream here to Omaritian. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Kotar said, Happy Halloween. I'll be expecting this live letter minus the Glamour's announcement. Blinding y'all. No idea what else is here. Nice. Thanks for joining us blind. Or me. He's here too. I can say us. I'm used to saying us, so that makes it easier on me. Amarintha, thank you for 11 months of membership. Monkind. Do I have a mouth? Can I scream? Anyway, like the stream, Backseat Bones demands it. Backseat Bones is back. Backseat Bones is back to help me with all my dyslexic needs of helping me read the chat so I don't mess up your name. So hopefully Mr. Backseat Bones is in that. In fact, test 1 2 3.
Do I have a mouth? Can I scream? Anyways, like the stream.
There we go.
Backseat Bone demands it.
There we go. It's perfect. It's spooky. It's everything we wanted here. Yeah, the second live letter is usually where they go. There was no gameplay footage I heard in this one either. So we don't need to worry about that. Rogue Mage was celebrating Mr. Front Seat Bones. By the way, it was just reminding that, the Halloween stream was yesterday. Slay the Princess is a really freaking awesome game. And it's like $11 on Steam. If you need a not so scary...
I'm back, baby. Don't be rattled, Chad.
Exactly. He's here to help today. Slay the Princess. Amazing game. Check it out. Honestly, check it out. It was really good. If you are afraid of any sort of fearful gameplay, I'd say it's a 2 out of 10 in terms of spookiness. I'm basing that on having played a lot of spooky games, though. But it was a really cool game. What a cool woven story. Don't let the art fool you. Once you're immersed in it, it flows very well, kind of like Slay the Spire. Do not be intimidated by the art. Let it happen.
I have a joke for you.
Yes?
What is a skeleton's favorite snack?
Bonito Flakes?
Oh man, I haven't gotten to be Mr. Bones yet. Also glamorous Frey.
We'll see what the confines of that are today, Vernacular Ham. Thank you for the update. How long am I gonna have to wait on this? No, you don't have to super, by the way. You don't have to super, Dressani. You've already set it up. But now I need to know.
Happy Halloween. I'll be experiencing this PLL, minus the glamours. Announcement, blind with y'all. No idea what else was here.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah. Is it ribs? Is it ribs? We don't know. Spare ribs. Thank goodness. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, thank you for joining. Break glass in case of emergency is all I've seen floating around on Twitter. That is an interpretation one could say about anything. I don't. Let's talk about what the internet has to say about things as we get to kind of the steps of it. But I feel like you could say that about most things.
Kyle, sending you the short in Discord DM.
The short? The short what? About ribs? I look forward to this. Yeah, I'd say that's something that could be said about anything. Though that is important perspective to have. What happens around here normally is I get, okay, the I'm dead. Yeah. Thank you. I will enjoy that later. When we normally do the live letters, we are up in the morning with everybody else, and we're just having a completely organic reaction experience to how we feel about things. I'm so used to Garrett being here, so I say we. I'm not trying to be royal or fancy, so just assume I'm talking about Mr. Backseat Bones here. And it's usually a pretty good vibe. People are just chilling, happy to see what's coming out, grooving on what Yoshi P has to say. I think it's important to have perspective for the greater community, and since we are post-live letter by about 2 hours of completion, maybe 3, it was, what is this thing, 2 hours long? 2.5 hours? Those sort of perspectives are important, so feel free to share them. I'm not worried about having other content creators or the community's voice in my head. It's not like a spoiler kind of situation. But that does mean we can, of course, disagree with them. And there are several things that happen in every single MMO cycle. X really carried, whether it's the artists in World of Warcraft, there's always the artists carried this expansion. It's like, it's a visual medium. What the hell does that even mean? And story really carried, which again, it's a collaborative process. What does that really even mean? Clearly, it's very important. We've seen that over the life of Dawn Trail. That story allows people to perceive the game in a stronger light. And even though they may dip and come and go, their perspective of the game remains, I enjoyed that story. I loved my time with it. So there's already that more negative atmosphere because of the Dawn Trail Discord that happened. But I am curious if we're going to see some of the weird, like, promise stuff. Like the raid planner. I know that the raid planner got delayed because it really couldn't be shared, was kind of my understanding. There were other factors as well, but without the raid planner being able to sort of copy paste between the party, you would just end up using third-party tools anyway. Not necessarily add-ons, but just drawing in Discord and sending a paint image around, right? Or one of those raid planner websites. And then there's no real talk of the Blue Mage or Beastmaster. I heard quite a few people believing and wanting to believe that this was the patch for it because of content. Because if you're not a raider, the content and supplying that content throughout the end of the expansion's last year here would be very important to kind of keep the lights on for a lot of people. But I don't know if that's happening today. Had to be perfect in order to adopt. I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair because you want to be better. It's the Steam factor. You have to be more convenient than cheating. You have to be more convenient than piracy in order to sell video games. If you're too complicated, like we all know a website that's way too complicated to log into or to maintain. God, I love the Steam Authenticator. You just point your camera at your screen. I end up logging in and out because we have multiple accounts in this house. And then Garrett comes over, sometimes brings a game that he owns. So we end up logging in and out of Steam a lot. I love that. I love Steam. It's so convenient.
It's payday, so here's your cut.
Thank you.
Also,
thank
can you say if y'all have any plans for 8.0 predictions video?
The predictions haven't really flowed this expansion so much because it is new territory. I am curious to see at the end of 7.3 here if we can start to pick up on threads and new characters. But without having the Final Fantasy background experience, the character stories throughout Dawn Trail were not at the forefront. And because of narrative structure being one of the main things I base predictions off of, and Garrett kind of character tropes, that's not a dismissal. I could say narrative tropes as well. Both are valid, and tropes are so much fun to analyze. But there really hasn't been much to say about Dawn Trail right now, other than I hope we go places. I hope we see things. I think I've expressed before my hope would be for something a lot more disconnected. Like, I want to be slamming the teleport button. Like, Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3 are all on different reflections and just going. I know a lot of people prefer an expansion that's more, this is the land I'm visiting and I get to experience it and grow with it. But I'd like to be constantly kind of wowed by the environment. And I think narratively, one of the weird things Dawn Trail did was it constantly told me that the place I was observing was beautiful, or a character would constantly tell me that this particular facet of the culture is interesting. And I wanted to make that decision for myself. Because we all have different interests. You can come and go. I might not find this particular people's in a video game interesting, but I find this one over here really interesting. And so I'd like to see that alleviate and just bombard me with cool shit constantly. And I think that was a really strong point, even throughout Stormblood as well. Like, there was just a lot of elements that were like, we're doing this now, let's go. And I absolutely felt for the writers setting up Solution 9. I've done it before. It's a mistake, ultimately. It's a narrative mistake to over-justify your story. But I understand why they wanted the Solution 9 build-up and relevancy to be so clear. But now we have that all set up. We've got a really nice foundation. Let's go. Pew, teleport is what I personally would enjoy. It's something I tell horror writers often. Don't write that the monster is scary. Give them details that make it scary. That's scary. Yeah, or something I really enjoy is conflicting imagery in a monster, so you can never truly pin down what it is. So you can say that it was hairy and bestial and sleek like a fish. And your brain goes, oh, it's unfathomable. How can it be both hairy and bestial but sleek like a fish? It's something I find that drives me insane in D&D writing, as they're always like, and needle sharp teeth. It's like, okay, good for it. How dangerous in a level up kind of world system like Dungeons and Dragons, describing needle sharp teeth is like, are they like normal needle sharp teeth, or are they advanced needle sharp teeth? An otter could be furry, and yeah, exactly. And if that's what you get, I love otters. My favorite water dwelling mammal. Definitely. I've got a lot of favorite animals: otters, lemurs, and elephants, octopuses. That's why I don't eat octopuses anymore. It's not like a big deal. I don't think I'm like morally just. I just like, I love the taste of duck, and ducks are so freaking cute. I can't do it. Favorite insect? Jumping spiders. They're really cute. I think platypus is the Tyrannosaurus Rex of aquatic mammals. Though it has the extra... Duck is so freaking good. Oh, so fatty, too. Spiders are... Okay. All right, fine. Leaf bugs, then. If you're gonna gorilla ape me there.
Needle-sharp teeth sound fragile.
That's my thing, right? Like, and if they're all like, you know, all crisscrossed and like crazy ass cool, but that's for like catching fish and not letting it go so it can't escape. That's not gonna bite an adventurer in the armor. That's a technicality. We don't need to worry about that kind of thing. Yeah, well, your teeth come. It's like a bulldog, you know. You kind of your teeth come out of your problem. You know, you should be evolved for that kind of thing.
Are those needle-sharp teeth a D6 damage die kind of needle-sharp, or are we talking a D10? How needly and sharpish are these needle-sharp teeth?
Exactly. You need to, when you're laying this kind of thing out, you have to go through your adjectives and just divide them up. Like miasma in anime, like how much miasma is there? Why is everything so full of miasma? Dawn Trail had miasma. Well, I'm just waiting for Apothecary Diaries to have a sudden outbreak of miasma. Why? Why is it so dangerous? It's like sand traps. Like, why is there so much miasma? I think it's like poisonous fog. is the essence of the miasma. Is there a lot of miasma in the Crystal Chronicles? There's so much. By the way, okay, then we're gonna start the live letter. But I've got one more massive bone to pick. I've been watching Apothecary Diaries. Cute ass show. Really enjoy it. I love sparkly man falls in love with tiny woman. It's just over on Host Club. I just love sparkly man, tiny woman. I hope I sparkle enough for Kristen because she's my tiny woman. However, my first child was born during the height of Apothecary Diaries growth. And you wouldn't believe the number of nerds who were like, don't feed your baby honey. Everyone had to tell me, don't feed your baby honey. And I heard it at such...
So is Needhawk needle teeth or teeth like spears?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. That's not what happened there. Those bees were eating poisonous flowers and regurgitating the honey to make poisonous honey. Real children shouldn't have honey because of botulism. They're two completely different. It's a fine warning. But I received this warning everywhere I went for a solid 2 years. It wasn't even the real kind of, it wasn't even the actual reason we avoid honey. There we go. That's it. The Apothecary Diary is super cute. It was a very particular kind of honey. I would call those teeth way too big to be needle sharp. I think the Hydra in Hercules had needle sharp teeth. Those things were kind of big. Exactly. The honey scare.
Miasma is an idea that predates germ theory.
Okay, I figured it was kind of like Sorewa, like in other words, but it doesn't really, it kind of translates to that. Like, I feel like it's kind of a catchword we're using. Germ theory. So bad air. What was bad air first or humors? I think humors was a Western idea, but I'm not actually sure. I'm not a historical doctor. I mean, it's not a bad idea, you know. I think it all kind of stems from you see someone walking towards your village. They're walking kind of weird at a distance, and when they get up close, you know, they've got pox on them.
I love Apothecary Diaries. I am also a fan of Shiny Man x Tiny Woman. Kyle is very shiny.
Thank
glowing
you.
Star emoji.
Hell yeah! I'm glad I'm shiny. I'm not as beautiful as him. I'm not. I admit. I wish I was a more beautiful man. But I hope I've managed to cobble together some amount of ragged handsomeness. The sarcophagus honey, well, that's different, and I think they ate it all, plus the mummies. So that was a weird time period. We don't need to worry about that kind of thing. Hopefully anymore. I don't know. People still hunt rhinos, man. People are weird. I don't know why don't. They're so sweet. They're so cute. Watch some wild crats or something. Rhinos are great. All right. Well, we do have the benefit of skipping around through time a bit today. Though I do always enjoy I do always enjoy this part. Let's get it a little larger on screen here as we start to dive in.
Humors existed in the East, but yin/yang aligned.
Oh, so more of a balance kind of thing. That makes sense. It looks pre-purchased, which... Did he attach the... Do carbuncles wear hats like that? He's so... He's me for real, you know? Garrett's Yoshi P. I set up the streams. It's a mock station. Wait, can you actually get those ears with the little hat? Well, I guess you'd have to get it in there, right? Well, this is one of my favorite parts. Yeah, I am gonna fast forward here, but seeing the beginning with Foxconn just getting set up is one of my favorite parts of the live streams. It's so adorable when they get out their little hand camcorders and all that. So we're gonna, I think it'll be easy to sync up once we're, and by the way, I'm here on the Discord, the Final Fantasy 14 unofficial, I believe this is the Reddit Discord, had translations this morning. So we'll have a much easier time kind of skipping around.
New TV show idea, Kyle Ferguson, Historical Drive.
Well, it wasn't Drive, but you did pretty well, Mr. Backseat Bones. Historical, yeah. Are there any Dr. Isekais? They usually just get like cheat skills to buy off Amazon or something like that. Oh, Dr. Stone, that's true. That was time travel. Oh, the pharmacy one. Oh, didn't he also become a little boy or something like that? The pharmacy, actually, I think the pharmacy one 100% works. Dr. Stone is... I watched all of Dr. Stone, not the new season. That is a show. That I wouldn't recommend it, but I did enjoy it, if you know what I mean. Not for like sensibility reasons. It was a good time filler. I had a good time.
Miasma theory has been around since 5th century BC.
There we go.
Plague doctors treating the bubonic plague wore those masks with herbs to avoid breathing it in.
Right.
So, at least the theory gave us awesome masks.
The bad air and all that. Best plague doctor. Do we have a plague doctor in Final Fantasy 14? Because there's a really nice plague doctor in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Twilight movies are at the theater again, one per night through Halloween.
Really?
Every time Bella's dad, Charlie, is on screen, I can't help but think on Kyle. Lots of women think he's ruggedly handsome.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'll take it. Hell yeah. Alright, sure. Yeah, I'll take it. That works for me. Might go for the solo stash someday. I did enjoy my time in Twilight. Movies. I never read the books, but I had fun going to the theater for those movies. I did it of my own free will. It was fun. I enjoyed the crowd.
One of the St. Moshian's Arboretum dungeons has plague doctor gear for healers and casters, I think.
Arbor. Let's see if there's an easy way to see this. Okay, looks like I might have it here. Close. Where, ooh, I really like the cape. This is kind of that clown hat, though. One of these clown hats was my best in slot for a while I was leveling, and it lasted a little too long, and I didn't know how to glamour yet. So that one will haunt me. Oh, a Plaguebringer set. Because there's a really nice one in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Twilight movies with their respective riff tracks are peak comedy.
Yes.
Highly recommend.
Yes. Also, the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek is phenomenal with riff tracks. Do that one. That was one of my favorite ones ever. Lord of the Rings was good too, but Lord of the Rings was already good. I believe we just heard Halloween, so we are in talking about Halloween in Shibuya. Halloween events are now barred from holding because the chaos was too much. But recently the district has issued a complete ban on events. It got too hectic and big. I'm not sure where Garrett is right now, but happy anniversary, Garrett. This is his official anniversary, married on Halloween, 10 years. He's in Japan right now on that anniversary trip. Happy anniversary. Blame Jujutsu Kaisen for that. I don't know if... Did that have an effect? That's the big arc. Kristen's the reader. I don't read Jujutsu Kaisen because I like the action too much. Yeah, I heard it got insane. Yeah, referenced it? Okay. They're about to talk about the World Series, and the translator here on the Discord is equally as sports ball brained as I, so we'll skip ahead a little bit.
A man after my own heart. My wife and I got married on Friday the 13th.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my 12th anniversary is coming up on the 2nd. Though we met at a Halloween party, and we started dating Thanksgiving, so we kind of call this whole month our fun-iversary. She was a nudist on strike, wearing normal clothes and a sign around her neck that said nudist on strike. And I was a Ghostbuster. Oh, congratulations, Midnight. Welcome to the live letter. System updates, content, many announcements. Our only Halloween costume this year is your Moogle head accessory. Wait, oh, he changed. The fact that he had more than one planned. Meanwhile, Yoshi P in the cool jacket, and I'm just over here in the silly cat ears. It tracks. Literally us. Wait, chat wants to see my Sphene cosplay? Is that going to happen?
The first person to challenge miasma theory and kickstart germ theory was a man named Jon Snow who
No
did detective
way.
work to cure cholera in the 1900s, so Jon Snow knew something lol.
Well, damn. Nice job, Jon Snow. 1900s. That's crazy. I love a good period piece. I'm happy to have modern medicine. I want to know more about the Sphene cosplay. You can't even see the hot pants when I'm sitting. You got tights on. You could pull them off. Ooh, the Knight Who Only Lives Today. That sounds fun. I would enjoy getting into another one. I recently read all of Kaiju number 8. Did that end? I think it's still going.
ということで今日はパッチ 7.4 コンテンツ特集ではあるんですが、その前に1点お知らせ
吉田のスフェーンコスプレが見たかった。
There we go. Sphinx cosplay. It's happening.
スフェーンか。なるほどね。
なかなかです。
なかなかじゃない？
はい。
後半出てきた方ならギリだけど。
ホットパンツの方ですか？
まあだって。
I love Kaiju number 8. A few weeks ago, Garrett challenged me because I said I don't really see myself in a lot of fictional characters. And so I really thought about who represents me, who I'd want to represent me if I had to pick a character to put on stage and say, this is me or this is who I want to be. And the main character in Kaiju number 8 is maybe my favorite written character in any show ever to represent me. Yeah, Kafka. He's so me. I love him so much. Big snotty crying and all. Which I guess I prefer snotty crying over constantly sweating, because I finished watching Solo Leveling and that sure was a lot of sweating. Every emotion was represented by slight sweating. Tuesday, November 11th. Weekly limit removed. Coins now exchange for Everchange. New furniture items added to the treasure coffers. Weekly limit removed? Is this, so just for my own nubbiness here, is this the removal of being able to skip to, or the divide stopping you from just skipping to the fight you want? Or can you just grind a fight as much as you want? This has already happened. Both. Okay, so these words here mean that. Wow, that's... So this is supposed to come out next month. That's all. We beat that. Beat it. We defeated it once. As a show. Of our limited skills once. It feels like forever ago. Just 1 month? I feel like it should be more. But you aren't limited to that anymore. Yeah, 7 months ago.
実装させていただきますんで、まあ最近始めた方だとやってないっていう方もいらっしゃいます。
Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about Echo. Just unlocking that late is kind of crazy. Yeah, because Echo I think is more of a for funds kind of thing. I really, really want to play this. You'll have no idea how much my inner demon has told me to play this while Garrett's gone. We won't get to it for another year or something. I'll forget most of it. It's fine. Garrett won't be mad. I really, really want to play this. It looks good. I've been playing Tactics Ogre, and it's good. But I've heard this is better. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna betray my buddy. Plus, you know, dividing up the characters and doing the tactics will be fun together once we're doing it. I really want to. Did Preach end up having fun? That's great. When we talked to him for the round table, it sounded like he was struggling a little bit with some of it. I don't know if it was like a difficulty spike. It sounds like it's a game that benefits a lot from prior knowledge on mechanics. If you're playing this with the knowledge of previous editions in your head, it's a very smooth ride. Oh, he played on the hardest difficulty. Oh my. Well, who's responsible for that? This is the new art piece we're adding to housing items. If you played Return to Evilise, you might have more feelings attached to it. I was telling him about a party, and the next day, he had formed it in the game.
から、パッチ7.4 のお話に。
He says he's a gamer and doesn't ever want to look at tutorials or guides on YouTube. Amazes me how he manages with a busy schedule. Sometimes sacrifices must be made.
パッチアートからですか？
アートからいきましょうか。では画面お願いします。どうぞ。
もうこれは
Interesting.
まあレイド完結する。
That's a nice poster.
みたいな。
すごい。そうね、映画かな。
もう完全に寄せに。
I know most people.
ね、某国のプロ
Who's the shirtless knight? That's the best part.
ポスターだろうみたいなね。
は
Do we
い。
know
パッチタイトルこちらとなっております。
who's this guy? Do we know that guy?
霧の中のアルカ
I guess we don't really know this bun either.
Into the Mist
Or
はい。
goth girl here.
ねえ、霧。
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then whatever amazing
さあ、
bullshit's going on here.
またこれはいろんなキーワードになってるんですかね。
まあそうですね。今回結構まあ
More representation of Elzen looking down on us. It's what we all need.
どうしたんですか？
毒斬りかっていうこ
Conclusion to the raid story.
なるほどね。
とそうかもしれない。
ああ、試合中
This is just the first live letter, but we'll give you a date.
そういうことですね。ああ、それの予告ってこと？ギミックを先出しして。
Angry wrestler Oriange.
ああ、なるほどね。ミストですから。はい。まあ毒斬りね。
I'm a big fan of heavily muscled men wearing masks. As like full-blown masks. Night helmets, I should even clarify further. That's peak comedy.
12月16日火曜日、公開予定となっております。
December 16th.
で、
Wait a minute.
そのなんでまあこのタイミングで、まあスケジュールリスクもね多少あるとはいえ、お出ししたかというとですね、年末に差し掛かるので、レイドスケジュールとかを早めにお知らせしておかないと、ちょっとさすがにいろいろで去年もですね、大変怒られまして。
It's the end of the year, so we felt like we had to give a bit more time for scheduling. We did get a lot of angry responses last year for the release of Chaotic. So we have special scheduling. Personal note here, if he delays Savage next year, I will follow him forever.
ちょっと特殊スケジュールをすいません組ませていただいてます。
Isn't that what he's about to say?
よくご確認いただきたいと思います。
はい。まずはですね、12月16日にパッチ 7.4 をリリースで、まあこのタイミングで普通にアルカディアの第3弾ノーマルが実装になります。はい。
Normal, no problem. That'll be
アラガン
fun.
トームストーンが、新しいのが追加されて
The big name
こ
reveal.
ちらの名前が記憶と。記憶が足りない。記憶がない。
Sure, why not?
で、まあアラガントームストーンの新しいのも実装されます。はい。で、これと同時に、こちら。クラフターが、はい、クラフターギャザー協力して作っていただく新式装備もこのタイミングで実装となります。はい。そしてですね、まあ特殊なのはこっからで、
This is like the part where you're reading the book and you keep wanting to look at the bottom to see because I can actually look in the future. So there it is. Tuesday, January 6th. Oh, okay.
でまあこれ散々ちょっと部内でも議論をしたんですけど、まあ仮に同時に開けたとしても、
Okay.
年末やっぱパーティーがつまらないっていうのと、
Nice, that's sane.
欧米の方はもうこの時期完全にクリスマス休暇に入っており、もう基本的にはご家族と過ごすっていうのが。
Yeah, that's a big deal because then we can actually watch World's First and all that too. And they don't have to plan World's First for what would be what.
まあもちろんその年末ギリにリリースするっていう計画も
I'm just updating my internal calendar.
やっぱりそのデータセンター周
り Yeah, that would be on the 23rd.
会社も閉まっているし、我々だけこう稼働していても何かあった時にどうしても対応できなくなってしまうので。
Mnemonics, the art of memory. A method for improving the memory, a system of precepts and rules intended to assist the memory, artificial memory.
Oh! Well, thank you for being the fairy of wisdom there. Mr. Backseat Bones with Dingo? I was thinking about mnemonics as in like... Why am I thinking of that? Is that also mnemonics? I think that's spelled the P.
ちょっと異例ではあるんですけど、このタイミングで、パッチ公開日、全部を出させていただいております。
Hooked on phonics?
ということはですよ、すごく細かい話に行きますと、7.4 でトークン装備と新式装備は入りますし、いつもよりトークンを余計に集めれるから装備はしっかり。
Okay, so, you know, living memory, tombstones, you know, all that kind of thing.
まあ、そうでしょうね。まあ。
But then you're hooked on phonics. You're not hooked on mnemonics. Yes, Johnny Mnemonic. We discussed this a lot. We had the option to release at the same time as the normal mode. But especially with the Western community, spends Christmas holiday with their family, we thought if we made them sacrifice family for raiding, that might become a whole shit store. Please use these dates to form schedules for your statics. So you'll have more gear going into Savage? Well, yes.
A mnemonic is something like using "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" to remember the order of operations when doing math.
Wait, so my very educated mother just served us nothing? Would be a mnemonic? I never knew the word for those sort of things. All right, yeah, explain this a little bit to me. I can fathom. Rip9 Pizzas, I know, it's messed up. Mnemonics. So this is bad for crafters? I saw that comment go by. Because the amount of crafted gear, is this even a crafter patch? Isn't that a whole different thing?
9 pizzas, Kyle. Don't let the astronomers win.
There are so many dwarf planets, though. It's the truth, Rogue Ninja. There's so many
Roy
dwarf
G.
planets.
Biv for the colors of the rainbow is another example.
Roy G. Biv, yes. Hell yeah, Bigman's World. They just won't make huge bank. Yeah, because you will... So... crafted gear comes out, you can only get so many tombstones and gear from what will likely be the new extreme, and then the rest of that would be filled out with crafted gear. So now crafters might have to even wait 3 weeks with their prices going down in competitiveness in order to sell their stuff as people kind of figure out what's best in slot and go, okay, I'm going to get crafting for these holes that I now have sitting there. Because people will want it more. Why are we crying? Because it's an interesting and fascinating economy, and it's very unique to Final Fantasy. I don't personally craft, but the idea of it, right now crafting to me is no different.
I remember every good boy does fine for a musical scale.
That's right, yeah, I remember. Okay, so there's quite a few of these in our lives. I remember, like, to me, crafting is like an ultimate. It's like, oh, that's so cool. I'm so happy that exists in this world because it makes it a richer place. I'm not doing ultimates, but if it didn't exist, my knowledge of the ceiling of the game would be lesser. And it would feel less vibrant. Yeah, so the crafters might want to wait, in fact, until the BIS lists are out. Because I think my Astrologian BIS list took like a good 2 weeks to solidify. It kept bouncing around and changing when we did tier 2. But there was a very early like healer general one or something along those lines. It was a weird... doing Savage for the first time was a weird experience. It was a whole lot of being told what to do and just going, okay. Yeah, but they're messy. The Bislis kept they kept moving around. They weren't settled. I think it was also they put out the BIS list that it was going to be for week 1, and then it took a while for them to make the BIS list for the future. Maybe that was more it. Yeah. The general ones are out. And then like do this, but get this ring kind of thing. It was interesting. It was a wild experience for sure. Okay. So less crafter, but they'd have to work in the holidays too. But they're going to work holidays anyway, because you can kind of do it more, less scheduled. Thank you for the answers. Oh, that's it. Yeah, the food. I guess all that would be affected. So you will have more gear going into Savage. Well, yes, but that is going to make clearing easier. We don't know. But since we have people that start later as well, it won't influence the difficulty that much. I guess he's basically saying that it's going to even out because everyone will be on the same level, so no one's really going to know if it should be easier or not. New main scenario. Yep. By the way, this is your spoiler alert. If you are not caught up on the MSQ, it's going to be pretty light. I won't throw too much in the pile. It'll be easier for world's first people. How does that go on a third tier basis? Because they increase in difficulty with a slight step back, you know, kind of like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of situation. But you would have overall, I mean, they could balance for it. They have time. Well, that's a pretty area, but do we know that guy? I like the station looking thing. Is this the tradition? When does the tradition, if there even is one, is there a traditional new zone added patch? Or would this be a scenario place that is, you know, limited? Because having only really played an expansion, no, so nothing like that ever happens. They've never added a new zone. Probably story exclusive. New OC zone. Yeah, those are player interactive areas like you got on the Occult Crescent. But there's never ever been an MSQ added zone with some new fates and stuff in it. Interesting. Speaking of solo leveling sweat. Maybe that's the you know, I've goggles and earrings is a fabulous conversation.
まあここからね次の展開へ進んでいく、まあその進んでいく上での第一弾ということになっておりますんで。
But look at just standing in front of. Why so sweet? I don't know.
まあでも劇
I don't know.
まあ劇的っちゃ劇的か。
But look, block and cry again.
からあれですけど。
Almost looks like a Halloween event. Looks like Living Memory. I don't think so. This new character is sweating so much. The first step of the new plot line. 7.5 will also be packed. We hope you enjoy the new arc. I look forward to getting there someday. Computer mouse of doom. I see it as a button to slap, but sure.
そういうお店が集まってるエリアがあったりするんですけど、いますもん。こういう人。こんな感じの人。います。すげえいい体格してるからさ、似合うよね。ダブルのライダース。
You will find someone actually looks like this in real life, but he has a gun. But rest assured, there are usually things in Hildy as well.
ご安心ください。こちらです。ご安心ください。はい。
What is your favorite Manderville expansion? Don't get as specific as patch, but overall expansion. I hate all Manderville quests. Well, at least you're determined. Endwalker? Heavensward was decent. I was really curious about Stormblood because I thought he was doing some samurai business from a picture I saw. We did, that is true. We did steal an old man's outfit, yes.
今コメントの方ですね、はい、考えても仕方ないって書いてある
そう感じるんだ。
はいいやこれねなかなか今回もね完結に向かって加速しますから
そうね
For a Discworld reference
楽しみにしていていただけたらなご期待ください
Just not as good as Endwalkers? Okay. I mean, so Endwalker, they made you do Hildy to get your relic weapon? How did that happen? Because it doesn't feel like the kind of content you should be subjected to against your will. Why did that happen? Was there something integral in the story that was linked to?
Sometimes dungeons are reused in MSQ. We met Zero in Court of Troya, got ceruleum from Lapis Manalis, and hunted with Wook-Lamont on the Isle of Ham.
That's true. It could just be, a dungeon that you stand around in. And I did really, really like the Resident Evil tunnel and doing all the little click explores in there because it was a zone you wanted to look at for an extended period of time. That was really nice. I'd love if they did more of that kind of stuff. And if I began to have the expectation that I'd get to click around it on the back end, I would find it that much more relaxing going through it the first time with a blind party. Because I'd be like, once all the enemies are gone, I'll MSQ through here. I'll get to see everything I want and stare at all the nooks and crannies. Just as a flow sort of thing. Because Godbert helps you... Oh, because Godbert helps you make them? But he's an MSQ. Would it not have been... I mean, granted, his moment is about refugees, so you may have a rather different opinion of Godbird if you only MSQ'd. That's wacky. They were called the Manderville Relics. Okay. Mistwake.
これちょっとね今なんだろう配信だとちょっと暗いんですけど、もうちょい多分明るいと思います。なるほどなるほど。であと今ここ ID
I don't think we're gonna
ライティングギリまでちょっと調整したいとリクエスト僕伝えてありますので、実際に実装された時ちょっとライティング変わる可能性がある。
This is the start of the dungeon, but I request some lighting changes. So it might not look like this in the screenshot. Yoshi P continues his brightness reign of terror. I do like big drills. This appears to be a big drill. I like big drills. Ever since the Technodrome, I've liked big drills. The EU relics were basically a giant advertisement for Solution 9. That happens in every expansion ever. Like the newfound adventure dungeon being very kind of tropical. They're working on those assets for the next expansion, and it gets in their head a little bit, and they're like, well, I'm making techno shit over here. Maybe I'll add a little tech. Like every single MMO expansion I've ever seen has had like kind of an early step going like, oh, we're doing a graphics update, and all of a sudden like all the fire's green, and you're like, what's going on? Then Legion comes out. Newfound adventure. Gurren Lagann, sure, that's more of like a hand I prefer a good like a dwarvish underground drill, but the Technodrome, I don't remember what that thing was called anymore. But Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady would jump inside the drill, and the little mouse robots. Actually, those were made by Baxter Stockman. I don't know if they were ever in the Technodrome. The little robots on the single wheel with the extendo cable.
FF9 reference detected. Alexandria and Lindblom were located on the Mist continent, named because they were full of mist. Very original name, no notes.
Why not miasma? But yes, well, because it's a healthy mist. It's a pleasant mist. Didn't, Marco has a huge, what the shit? What am I looking at? Finishing that thought, Marco said that FF9 was his favorite, and he's like really animate about it. I'm very interested to see FF9. I think that's correct. What the hell is this? The Doom Train? New trial, Hell on Rails. He's beautiful. He's fleshy and beautiful, no notes. Absolutely fabulous. It's a Doom, yeah, it's a Doom Train. Would, you're brave. I would be afraid of all those needle-like teeth. He is not having a great day. Though I do enjoy a nice... oh, yeah, look. Oh, wow. I thought we were going with the flesh caboose, but no, it's a spinal column. The flesh, he has a mouth on his neck. But flesh cow... Why did he put lamps? How was this made? It's just electro. Yeah, you wove electrope. It actually does look like electrope. Not like we haven't, experienced electrope power fusing with organic material, but he's beautiful. No notes. But he still has the parts of the steam. So is it water? Can't we just walk away from the rails? For what purpose must I destroy this thing? Like if an astral being is trapped inside of an alternate reality, he may someday get out. And destroying him stops that mercy killing. Please. He must go. He's got to get out of here. He looks kind of sad. Well, this is a choo-choo train. We love choo-choo trains. Though I think, is Thomas British? Thomas the Tank Engine seems like a British show because of the pacing. but it had what's his comedian face doing the conductor. So I guess it's an American show. So how did what's his comedian face rest his peace? Yeah, what was George Carlin doing in a British kid show?
This trial's gonna be on rails, I just know it.
Well done. Thank you for the 23 months. The narrator was different per country? Shining Time Station was a different show? Holy shit. I didn't know that. As a parent, I'm aware that Paw Patrol has different voiceovers for the UK and English. The pups are a lot more polite in English and they giggle a lot less. I don't know why the UK version has less giggling. Maybe they're against giggling. Bluey giggles a lot, but he's, you know, they're Australian.
One note, choo choo, choo choo.
Let's go. Choo choo. Yeah, that was Carlin, yeah. FF8. Okay, I really desperately want to look up what FF8 Train looked like, but I'm not going to. Because now I'm just very excited to see him in his own element. Plus, I didn't grow up with PlayStation graphics. I grew up with Nintendo graphics. They weren't terribly different. PlayStation were nicer in the time. I have no nostalgia for FF7 or FF8. So I bet it would look like a bunch of triangles to me. And I'd rather see it after I've developed a taste for the art. I used to really dislike pixel art, and then I played a lot of amazing games and changed my opinion drastically. Same with chipset music. I used to hate that. Now I love it. I don't feel like you're lacking for L's and Mamas, so, you know, the mole is nice. Yeah, this is what I'm excited about.
Train with the mouth be like, choo choo, choo choo.
That's awful, Gabgano. Thank you. Look, this is what I'm here for. Beautiful men looking at me with disdain is one of my favorite tropes. I accept.
完全にね、プロレスフィーチャーされている感じがありますね。まあちょっと本当コンテンツのその雰囲気。
Let's get caught up a little bit after our train experience. Oh, hey, I guess Japan has Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas the Tank Engine toys were huge like 5 years ago, by the way. It was a whole thing.
そして続いては、こちら。
Now let's catch up for a hot moment here. The boss is named Glacia Laboris, but we have another boss with the same name. Do we? Sears Tower. Was it just one of those weird, like, gladiator dudes? The green guy? Okay. The one that dies in 2 minutes. Yes, of course. I remember him well. This arena is really cool. Of course you will fall down here. Well, yeah, those pieces will clearly break and fall. He used to have mechanics. I figured as much, but you know, MSQ and all that. A death match with no escape. And the arena tiles... There's no way that some of them will disappear and the ground will change, right? And we don't know which floor this is either. In part 2. So next live letter, I will show you a bit more. Many heart emojis, including what the I don't know what a glorp shrug means. I don't know what that means, but the rest of them I can fathom what they're all about. This raid series has been very popular. I saw so many cosplays worldwide at game events. The way he's standing, he definitely gives off champion vibes. That is kind of, huh. I guess in the previous one we did have we really had anybody who hasn't done anything in posters and stuff? Because what this, I mean, if we're making assumptions based on like tattoo art, we got Hawaiian shirt with a, okay, that's it's a little cubic, but that's the regulator. I can't see if she has a regulator. So she may not be a part of the event. Where was the earlier picture? Oh yeah, they cut it off. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's just a cat. Okay. An evil Oriange. But more on it during the next PLL. The new Unreal, Tsukiyomi. Sweet. That'd be fun. I have trauma from that event. That was a really hard blind one we did. That was very intense. 1 thumbs down, says so-and-so. But otherwise, very excited. It was a challenge blind. I think we did it like as like our 5th or something like that too. Return, yeah, the moon holes business. Yeah, she's difficult. Yeah, I was trying to see if we had any signs of the president, but I guess the president could just be a dude, just a rich dude. What's coming in 7.4? He's done a pretty good job, if that's true, Sino.
The moon holes.
Exactly, the moon holes. I think that was... Did we do that after Shinryu was our very first, so technically my first experience with professionally sprinting was before that, but getting to those moon holes in time was rather freaky. I might feel differently nowadays. Oh, the PP Pal is getting the update. Darkhold's the one with all the crystals you gotta go stand by, and the explosions, and the boss that feels really aged. Hopefully that's the one that's being updated there, right? Cool. Oh, cool. Good idea. Good, we should do that. Doesn't that one end with the I don't like being hit 2 swords demon too? No, it has not been done yet. We did some duties about, what, a month ago? And we got that one, and it's a bit rusty. Considered the worst dungeon in A Realm Reborn. Now, yes, I did not like Halatali in its previous incarnation. They've changed boss mechanics though before, so I'm curious to see if they'll update the I don't want to be hit mechanic, because that's just kind of unfun. You're gonna miss the original Veil. We'll always have the stories of having to eat the ground fruit. The invisible, yeah. I think it was also the part where you had to get sort of behind the crystals, and the crystal was exploding inside the key door that you had to stand on the glyph to open. There are some on paper dungeony things in there that we've definitely evolved out of since. Good times.
Yatsuyu's Unreal Moon Hole is a good album name.
We'll workshop that. We'll workshop that. We'll see. We'll see. I think we're on to something. I think we can evolve it a little bit. Good to see you, Chris. I have a friend who recently started the game. He plays healer. He was asking me, what am I supposed to do as a healer in RM Vale? We're adding one more feature to the duty support. When the Warrior of Light themselves dies, it's counted as a wipe? Wait, hold up. Hold up. But in 8-man content, you have stacks that are used when you die instead of wiping. Holy shit, yeah. But from now on, when you die to a dungeon boss, we will give you a stack that you can use to your next attempt. If you die again, you get 2 stacks and so on. Hell yeah. That's nice. Yeah, I know it's for duty support, but that sucks. Oh my God. I don't know if you've never done duty support. There are some things that happen in there. Mine would have been, I think Mount Gold was the first one I did a duty support, and I had to keep restarting a boss. When normally I would just be the dead squishy on the ground. Oh no, healer died. Dark Knight, finish it for everybody. I'll get up when it's over. And I had to keep restarting it. I know that means I sucked, and I did. I still do. And that's nice. In 8-man content. So one of the biggest barriers I see of players getting into the game is Ifrit 4-man. 4-man, it's a 4-man for Ifrit, right? Am I crazy about that? I feel like there's only 3 NPCs in there. So do you get a stack in Ifrit now? Because that would really help people. Just 4. But when you pass the boss, the stacks reset. Give you a stack to use on your next attempt. If you die again, you get 2 stacks and so on. But then it'll restart. You can think of it like a sort of echo. This applies to all duty support dungeons. And thanks for waiting. A new frontline map. Okay, so there's still the punishment. There's still some walking back, but at least you are continuing to go through. I didn't realize it was possible to die in 4-man story Ifrit. The problem I see with most new players getting into it is the nail. The DPS on the duty supports is really, really low. And if you aren't playing your character correctly, even with what you have, it's very easy to not clear that. And it sounds super duper normal. That sounds like it should be impossible. But it happens a lot. And I hear from a lot of my friends who start the game that they get stuck there, particularly if they're on a spellcast. Yeah, Thaumaturge. Yeah, because the other NPCs just don't do enough damage. Plus, a lot of them are scathing because they just got the ability. So they're like, holy shit. This is such a cool ability. I can spam things while I'm moving. But if it's a full party wipe, then that wouldn't matter. Oh, yeah, I guess not. You just get up again. Okay. Still a good change, though. Some of the NPCs try to kill you. Well, that's just Oriange, the Heidelin business. He does that sometimes. This applies to all duty support dungeons. Thanks for waiting. A new frontline map with rules. Wait, what? Because it's so good, Coffee Dog. Yeah, it's on its way. Don't you worry. We'll get that Scathe too someday. It's going to be great.
ぜひですね、どうしてもちょっと諦めてたわみたいな、部分も快適に遊べるようになるかなと思います。よろしく。
特にこの手の今回のメインクエスト外のものは、もういっかってなっちゃいがちなところ、せっかくこういうのが入ったからクリアするのにね、目指していただきたい。
Oh, yeah, well, Scathe, yeah, in FF12 we found like that Toma Scathe. Like we did a whole bonus area to get one cast of Scathe, and it was a big deal.
最新のだけじゃなくて、全部に行きますんで、はい。なのでこれからスタートする方はそれらを使いつつね、サクサク進んでいただけたらなと思います。はい。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい、そして続いては、PVP アップデート
の
お知らせをしてまいります。はい、パッチ 7.4 ではですね、まず PVP シリーズ10が開始となりますね。はい。
All I've heard recently about PvP is the rewards aren't good. I don't know if that's true or not. I like how many adjustments they do. Balance and adjustments are content for PvP.
追加させていただきます。はい。で、報酬も結構リクエストいただいてた。はい。
It's gotten better. They're okay. I think they're really good. That's interesting that that's the word that you receive.
はい。ぜひちょっとね、報酬も期待しつつ、じゃあこのフロントラインの新マップ、
If you like modern glams, they're great.
ルールはまだ今回じゃないんですけど、ちょっとまずスクショで、どんなエリアか見ていきましょう。
はい、お願いします。
Huh. So this is a frontline map?
新マップ、新ルールがウォーコーチーテという名前になっております。さあ、どういう
見慣れたようできっと違う。
そうですね。
マーカーっぽいもの。
New frontline map since 5.15.
行きましょう。はい。
Frontline is so frustrating. Would it let them into it if you hadn't beat Dawn Trail? Or went in? How does the... Because a lot of MMOs are smaller if you don't own the expansions. So you don't even own the assets to see the later content. But you would just be here in PvP?
オーロラ天候みたいなのでちょっといろいろあるんですけど、まあ詳しく語るのは実際マップも見つつですね、次回 PLL パートね、このコンテンツ特集パート2の方で、
What do you play as, Princess of the Keys? Maybe I'm just playing the wrong thing. Seems like summoners have a great time.
新マップ、新ルールということで、こちらパッチ 7.4 で実装となります。
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the Crystal Conflict. I didn't consider that one. I think Crystal you could, yeah. I definitely tried Frontlines before I was done with MSQ because it was so chaotic and it seemed like it gave good rewards. But you play Summoner. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I just need a Summoner is all. Only play mech in PvP. I want to do White Mage. Yeah, I'm not worried about the spoiler of it. I just found myself drawn to the more chaotic environment of Frontlines. And Crystal Conflict to me seemed like I'll wait till endgame and like understanding my character. What the sweet hell is in the bottom corner of this screen? What is this? Is it an alligator wearing a robot monocle? Well, yeah, it's Air Force One, but what's the picture? That's just what Air Force One always looks like? Sarathi, holy shit, you're sending me as a kid who grew up on the Western Hemisphere. Wait, no shit. Western part of America. I heard that song on the radio every day. Where'd you get those colors? Are you dyeing them? Damn. It's the sprite of the plane you ride in the Omega fight. Oh. Oh, I can't say I recall that. That seems like absolutely psychotic content to add, but sure, why not? You know, expand the repertoire.
どうぞ。775になり、で今回強化に必要なアイテムは、こちら
Phantom weapon update.
含む各種コンテンツでね、
Item level
いくことになりますので、すみません、合わせてね、プレイをしていただけると、よろしくお願いします。次はどうなるやら。
Oh, I'm a samurai.
そうね。そうね。このウェポン制作もね、今後ね、まあ今やってるね、ファントムウェポンシリーズのその次とかも考えたときに、そろそろ大きくね、変えようか。話も出ております。
I'm in the plane right now if you want to switch to your game window.
I thought you were saying you're in a plane, but you're on the... Oh, that's not a... Okay, so it's not a monocle. It's like this. Wow. Holy shit. Wow, you are really crammed in that thing. You look like me on the Dumbo ride. Oh my god, the little missiles are adorable. Oh shit, pardon your butt. Wow, that is something. That is truly something. Let me sit back down so I'm not just standing on this couch the whole time we're chilling here. That is insane.
はい。というわけで、まあ様々なコンテンツで、強化をぜひよろしくお願いします。はい。そして、
It's a good kind of goofy.
タイトルが出たんで、伝えですが、クレセントアイルにも今回アップデート、マイナーアップデートではありますが、
Minor update? All right, let's get caught up here. Kind of got lost in the front lines and the plane with the bullets. You can stay on the power. Oh, that was just him. Okay. When we consider the weapon series after this one, we might completely change it. This might be the last time for this kind of upgrade system. No, says multiple people. Blushing? Huh. What does that mean to you? It's a very unique upgrade system. It provides content. There is a lot of content in this upgrade system. Okay, so there's no kind of basis in history that you would kind of base that on?
今回はサポートジョブを新たに3ジョブ追加させていただきます。はい。行きましょう。魔法どうぞ。こちら。
Mystic Knight, Dancer, and that Gladiator is crazy.
剣闘士。剣闘士。はあ。ねえ、まあまあどんなね。ね、サポジョブね、アクション持ってんのか。これは気になりますな。ねえ。なんかすごい運営がざわついててめっちゃ気になるけど、ね、大丈夫なのかしら。何かテクニカルな問題が起こっているのかね。大丈夫？大丈夫。
They seem to be asking, our staff is all over the place. Is everything okay? Yes, good.
で、クレセントアイルアップデート、まあ1と書かれてるってことは 2があるんですけど、こちら行きましょう。
The relic weapons have been good upgrades. Their catch-up gear as always. Yeah, that's my understanding, but if you keep up on it, at the very end, you'll have something best.
はい。で、こちらですね、まずファイター、ソーサラーの2ロール分に、4V ほど、追加されます。はいはい。で、こちら何かというとですね、クレセントアイル内でパラメーターがさらに上昇できるという。
Beneficial accessories, 4 pieces of Disciples of War and Disciple of Magic.
で、まあ入手方法としては
Character attributes are increased while exploring. Obtain rarely from critical encounters, treasure chests, magic pots, and happy bunnies.
いう感じなので、まあサポジョブの新しいね、先ほどご紹介した3ジョブを、レベリングしつつですね、こちらのドロップをね目指していただけたらなと思います。
Stack Gladiator, you'll get the best story.
パッチ 7.5
We're working on a major update for Occult Crescent for 7.5.
メジャーアップデート。そうですよね。はい。
We're developing the new tower with multiple difficulties as per everyone's feedback. How long until an end of an expansion do you sit on a 0.5?
欲しかったなというお声をいただきまして、現在複数の難易度で、作っておりますので、その攻略に向けてもですね、準備も、ぜひしていただけたらなと。
Okay, so that's a pretty solid amount of time. Longer than any other patch. That's common in MMOs.
そうですね。ぜひぜひ。
0.5 and 0.55 will take us most of next year. Okay, cool.
で、あとはあれですね。現状のフォークタワーの突入の
I haven't really seen many predictions about when the next expansion will come out. The one I've heard most is not any time in 2026, but I feel that that's just dooming, maybe setting expectations to be lesser.
はい、じゃあ続いてまいります。はい。ではこちらです。
Hell yeah.
コスモエクスプローラーの新たな星がさらに登場してまいります。
December 26th. Stop targeting Christmas. Actually, Christmas is a fine time for a video game to come out. Just not a raid series, in my opinion. That's beautiful. I love this. I love rings. I'm fine with dirt planets. I grew up in New Mexico. I love a good dirt planet. Oh, this planet appears to... This is an ancient aliens planet. Which I'm also okay with. Bring on the pyramids that are batteries. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, mess with gravity is fun to mess with. They hinted the expansion being sooner than usual. Have you felt that there is a vacuum? Pardon me if you're bilingual and I'm talking over words you understand. Have you felt like there is a lack of content in a typical MMO cycle for Dawn Trail that elicits the idea that the next expansion will have even more content? Oftentimes, a MMO company will be so busy making the next expansion that they have to pull from the previous. What the hell is that? Is that the frying pan? Oh my god, that really... DT running circles around EU? That'd be assumed. Yeah, Warlords of Draenor had that. It's happened a number of times, but Warlords into Legion is the most popular example of it. Feels like a normal amount of content. The frying pan is ridiculous. Dawn Trail is actually pretty content heavy. Just that many people don't care about the content we're getting. I think that's a perfectly valid read because it's based on opinion as well. Oh, thank you. Would you like to say hi? I know Mr. Backseat Bones is in the zone.
Hey, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Here. No. Mr.
No, Mr. Backseat Bones. Wow, you've really been working out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Wow, Backseat Bones. Damn. Been lifting.
Look at my muscle. Have fun, everyone.
This is why I hope I sparkle enough. Thank you. That was Brock Coffee. Ruins exploration, uncover ancient records pertaining to the planet's past and have them appraised. That's a great spacesuit.
ですよね。
そうですね。
Ah, yes, of course.
すごいな。左
There you
の
go.
装備欲しい、超欲しい。そして右はインパクトが強すぎて。
Incoming transmission from the giant head. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a while.
忘れてしまう。
That's a great spacesuit.
ですよね。まあ確かにね、ビーム出そうですよね。
Yeah, you gotta Buzz Lightyear it.
ね。今人がいるのに気づいたって言ってる方が結構いますね。
ね。
あそこ確かにね、パッと見るとモヒカンっぽい。
I think you're right. I don't know if the textures are the exact same, but I assume they use the smile ton, which is probably a reuse of like an earlier golem
ぜ
head.
ひご期待いただければと思います。
はい、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
さあ、では続いて。
I love a good awkward moment.
一旦ここで時間かな？いい時間？
Some of the rewards definitely made for space, but maybe deep ocean works too. True. I have a lot to talk about after this, about the new variant dungeon. So many PowerPoint slides. So a short break first. A few clips for the break. Taiwan in July, September Korea, September Primal's concert. See you in 15.
こんなにあるもんね。こんなにあるんです。
そうです。
ちょっと一度軽く休憩を挟んでですね。
Amdapur, did Amdapur have a
後編
smashy face?
思います。
はい。
はい。
休憩ですが、何時再開にしようかな。15分ぐらいの休憩にしたいんですけど、よく9時5分。
All right, we will advance in time, for we have the power. I got my hotel and air flight for FanFest. Whether I get to go inside or not. I think we're planning a Disney day the day for Sunday, I believe it is. We'll make more announcements about that as we get closer and we all kind of figure out if we're getting to go. All right. Advancing. 7-hour drive? I mean, good to get on the road, right? Understandable. I used to take off on Sunday when I lived on the Pacific coast.
はい、戻ってまいりました。
Had to be back for Monday after all.
プロデューサーレターライブをお送りしております。
はい。
本日はパッチ 7.4 コンテンツ特集パート1ということで、パッチ 7.4 で実装される。
Yeah, I don't think I've been to Disneyland since BlizzCon 2018.
動画が流れなくて、すみません、我々も大変焦って大変失礼しました。ちょっと最初に流そうとした動画がなんか配信にうまくなんていうんですか、エンコードというかできてなかったらしくて。
Oh, what's my favorite Disney movie? Holy shit, it changes. It changes based on my age constantly. I've been through so many.
後半はまあバリアントダンジョンのお話だったり。
Can I say a Pixar movie? Is that cheating?
システムのアップデートがいろいろあるんでお伝えしていこうと
Hercules is great.
思っておりますが、
よろしくお願いいたします。
Alice in Wonderland was mine when I was younger, so I said that for years. Sword in the Stone.
バリアントダンジョン新しいものからご紹介していきますが、こちらをどうぞ。
I think nowadays it might be Incredibles. Yeah, I think I'm with you there.
ちょっと
But Alice in Wonderland. I'll go with my original pick when I was a kid. I love the ideas per minute.
まあこれ
Ratatouille, that's a good pick too. I mean, I love Sword in the Stone. Hobbity Pobbity Wobbity Whack is a banger.
これスクショなんですこれ。
What the hell am I looking at?
スクショなんです。
何回言うんだ。
Sorry for the clips that didn't play when we were on break. We were stressed about that. Sorry. We will talk about the variant dungeon system updates now. You know, I'm just happy that they make mistakes, so I feel okay when I make mistakes in streaming. Atlantis is a banger. Absolutely. This is the new variant dungeon. What is it in an illusion? What's with the sky? Oh, the Merchant's Tale. Oh, wow. Okay. Excuse me, it's on screen.
いや、多分ね、次を見てもらえれば、一応信じていただけると思うんで、スクショをちょっと先に見ていこうかなと思います。
Hell yeah, Luke. Hellfire is a good ass song.
いやほら実機ですよ。
合成です。
いや違う。
Yeah, look at that. You can see how they kind of cell shaded the buildings. That's cute.
なんだこれすごい。
Pokemon ZA Town. Yeah, there's no one in it.
違和感ってなる。
I haven't played it. I only know what the internet's told me. I shouldn't. I shouldn't, says Anakin.
この状態でカメラ回せるってことです。
回せますよ。回せます。回せます。回せますよ。
Winnie the Pooh level? I do like Winnie the Pooh.
でもう一枚やるとさらにちょっとね。
I was a big Eeyore fan because I knew it was Optimus
次行き
Prime.
ましょう。
どうぞ。はいはいはい合成。
書き割りかなっていう。
That's a cool idea that variant dungeons can be off the beaten path.
うん。
いろんな表現ができるんですね。
いや、その一言だけだと本当に PG 班がかわいそう。
Well, Kingdom Heart, maybe we can expound upon that. We're towards the end of an expansion. They're testing out their cell shading tech. So and so forth. Kingdom Hearts Alliance Raid 8.0.
あ、似合いそう似合いそう。
ね。
Let's just set our expectations right now,
これね、まあ
and we'll never be disappointed.
本当はね、シェーダーをここだけ特殊に変えれればいいんですけど、そうなるとプレイヤーも
I mean, we went to that island.
実はねこれ
We went to the island in the variant dungeons, and then we had a whole tropical beach vacation expansion.
ライトの当て方と、まあいろいろ駆使してやってもらってます。
I believe we got corrected in the comments of our video that Square does own
次の
Sora.
そう、これこれ。
But I've never played a Kingdom Hearts. I would be as blind as I am in the FF11 stuff.
これはですね、まあ今回、共にですね、活躍
Just do the little shadow characters from Endwalker. Like every time there would be a Disney character, it's just their spirit speaking slightly out of turn with their original lines.
まあまあ、これもある意味、この昇格物語の
Is that a thing, Gabgano? If you have it, link it in the Discord. I'd love to see that.
そうですね、ね、ミコってたくさんいますから。
Yeah, the placeholder checkered box like in Warcraft 3. Yeah.
はい。ご親族。
This isn't artwork. This is an in-game screenshot. A screenshot? A screenshot.
家族はすごいたくさん。
It might look like concept artwork, but this is a screenshot. See? Nah, it's fake. Cuties. I told you it's fake. It's real. I still don't believe this.
方いらっしゃいますね。すごいな。
If we just change the shaders, the Warrior of Light could change too. So it's the actual textures? The NPC that'll be with you the whole time.
ご覧いただきましょう。
はい、お願いします。
Is Tola's relative? The screenshot might explain why the dungeon looks like that in the screenshot.
昇格物語という本の物語の中に今回光の戦士飛び込んでいただきますんで、
I can't believe they stole this idea from Expedition 33. The turnaround time is impressive.
すごい。
But let's really push this
そう
narrative.
ですね。設定を考えるのはすぐなんですけど、
Never ending
めっちゃ
story.
大変っていう。
今何言うたっていう話ですよ。だって
そうですね。
Oh, if they really got it. Oh, Page Master's way better. Let's do Page Master instead.
今回
Let's do Page Master. I love Page
これ
Master.
は楽しみ。
では、ここでまあ実際バリアントダンジョンって聞いたことはあるけど、実際やってなかったとか、まあ最近始めた方でどんなコンテンツなのかわからんという方のために、ちょっとバリアントダンジョンのまあこれまでっていうのをおさらいしておこうと思います。
はい、お願いします。
まずバリアントダンジョンっていうのは NPC と一緒に、ダンジョンを探索してその、一連の、NPC やその周辺ロアに隠された物語っていうのをダンジョンを探索しながら、
Oh, wow, that's sick.
解き明かしていくというのが
Hang on one second. We're gonna let this be interrupted. Over to Gabgano here.
Expedition 33 stole the big painting worlds from Dark Souls.
No!
Therefore, E33 is another addition to the Souls-like genre.
No, it's true. It's true. It's never happened before in any fiction. Now that's actually I mean, sure. These painted worlds were ass too. Such ass. That's really good. That's cute. Oh my god. The face. Hell yeah.
コンテンツのテーマになっております。まあなので、まず NPC のね。
They all stole paintings you can enter from Super Mario 64. Expedition 33 is part of the Super Mario Extended Universe.
It's true. It's true. Bomb King, one of the greatest tragedies ever written.
いろんなルートがあるので、その攻略を進めていくと、探索機にこうやってロアとして読み物がどんどん追加されていく。
Let's get caught up here real quick. You're jumping into a book to explore. Let me reintroduce Variant Dungeons. Seems we're still in the process of this. So, looks like they actually didn't translate anything. So, this is all going to be on screen here. Explore a dungeon with an NPC and reveal the hidden stories within. Explore the dungeon with an NPC. As you complete different routes, a story is unveiled. If you like that kind of thing, play Slay the Princess. It was freaking awesome. The route you take and the boss you face will depend on your choices and actions. New records will be added to your logs as you go.
さらにそれによって新たな探索機も追加されていく。だから何度もいろいろ推測しながら遊んで、最終的な物語の謎を解き明かしていくというのが、バリアントダンジョンの基本になってます。
だからダンジョンの中でなんていうんですかね、パズル的な要素もあったりとか、ちょっと面白いですね。
あ、そうですね。
行動すればどうなる。
はい。なのでちょっとそれ、項目でご紹介しますが、
We all been had. It was a variant dungeon all along.
どの扉を選ぶかとか、仕掛けを作動させるのか作動させないのかとかで、ルートが
He might say it in a little bit. Sometimes it's delayed, but I'll read here. Mario 64 stole it from Yoshi's Island. I never... Wait, Yoshi's Island? Was Yoshi Island in a painting? I loved Yoshi's story growing up.
変化します。はい。
The rescue movies are the unsung and still my favorites. Down Under is sick. I remember being disturbed by the first one and only watching it once as a kid. The Clue movie, yeah, exactly. No, Yoshi's story was in a book. And then, yeah, and they'd sing. The route changes depending on the doors you open. Fight different bosses on different routes. Hints for discovering other routes may also be found in the records of the previous routes.
なので読み物と、ダンジョンの攻略が一緒にこう進んでいくみたいな、のがバリアントダンジョンとなっております。ではこのバリアントダンジョン特徴的なのがですね、さらに、次お願いします。1人から4人で、お好みでですね、最大4人、最低1人で、まあだからソロでも4人でも2人でももちろん3人でも挑戦できてですね、難易度が参加人数によって挑戦されるっていう仕組みが
I think about that movie a lot.
なので今日フレア
Mostly the song You Get a Line, I Get a Pole, Baby is what I think of the most from Rescuers Down Under.
できますんで、なのでどうぞ。
That villain will live in my head.
まあソロでもパーティーでも、まあそう
Can be adjusted with 1 to 4 people. The difficulty will be adjusted accordingly. So play in a way that suits you. The right level of challenge, whether you're playing solo or with a party. Dedicated duty actions for recovery and revival.
回復とか蘇生とかを入れたりですね、しつつまあなんでソロでもどのジョブでも
He's a haunting villain. Absolutely terrifying.
まあいろんな遊び方をぜひしていただけたらなと思ってます。
So I've ever only done Variant Dungeons solo.
さらにですね、報酬で言うと
I've only ever done not the first one solo. Can they be done with 2 people? Have they always been able to just be 2 people?
あとはもう全ルート完璧に踏破した税でもらえる報酬なんかもあるので、
Obtain items from treasure coffers, tokens for exchange, as well as rewards for completing all possible routes. It was fun doing it as a group. Honestly, I thought my experience doing it solo was my favorite. I think it was really, really solid solo content.
で、さらにバリアントダンジョン、まあ攻略した後ですね、ルート分岐がなくなり、まあボスが強化されたアナザーダンジョンにチャレンジできる。で、まあだからバリアントダンジョンクリアしたら
Okay, slight adjustment. It was terribly boring as a healer solo. to the level of misery. I was not entertained. On Samurai, I had a good time.
ですが、これまでのバリアントダンジョンはこうなってます。こうなってるんですけど、
Completing a variant dungeon will unlock the corresponding. I was reading that. The overall duty structure has been adjusted in light of the feedback received thus far.
今回の焼却
This is what it's been like so far, and we're changing it now.
コンテンツ構成を変えました。はい。というわけで、ちょっとそれをご紹介これからしていこうと思うんですが、若干話が長くなるんですいません。よろしくお願いします。
はい。よろしくお願いします。
どうぞ。まず、バリアントダンジョン。これはもう今ご紹介した。
All right, the overall structure is being adjusted in light of feedback.
解き明かしながら、一人でも4人でも、まあ2人でも3人でも楽しんでいけるというところに関しては変わって。
Yeah, I was also an astrologian, so having no mobility. Oh.
はい。
And then so I'd have to heal myself, which means it would take longer, and the cycle of boredom continued. But I had a great time on Samurai. Variant Dungeon Advanced. I will talk about it now. It'll be a bit long. Variant dungeons are the same. Wow, what a transition. With no exploration, this mode consists of 3 boss battles from variant dungeons, which can be attempted in any order. So, I only just learned this term from playing Hollow Knight, but a boss rush?
まあそこまでむずくはないです。多少パワーアップはしてますけど。で、ちょっと特徴的なのが
And you get to choose which one you...
Mario 64 stole from Yoshi's Island.
There you go, he made it!
同時に入れてもらっていいですか?
He did it!
あ、そうです。
It took him a while.
The Rescuers movies are so unsung they are still some of my
I'm
faves.
so happy you're still with us. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
から挑戦するんですかっていうのを選べるんですけど。
Kind of, but not really. A boss rush doesn't let you drop out between fights. Oh.
ボスさんからやろうぜ。で、ボスさん倒すと、そこで個人ドロップの報酬もらえます。まず。
Maybe we haven't gotten there yet. It seems like you would just pick what order you're doing them in, or what order you start with. So at the very least, you could choose the one you know you can beat for tier 1 rewards. Get stuck on 2, but at least you got tier 1 rewards. We'll let him continue. I do like how passionately he's explaining this in the small upper right corner.
だけど、まあ得意不得意倒したい気楽ってやつからこう選んで練習というかで例えばボスにだけ集中2人でさ集中練習してやれたぜ。じゃあそろそろ次ボス1行くか。だから必ずしも3つ全部
I think you're right, Richard, but it is a nuanced conversation. The two flow each other as well.
ができます。で、これそれぞれのボスにその個人報酬っていうのが用意。
I haven't mentioned it, but yes, you can choose to leave whenever you want, but you get a bonus for clearing everything.
全部倒すっていうのが一応最終目標なので、1回のチャレンジで全部3体とも
Each boss has its own associated rewards, and defeating all 3 in a single run will result in a bonus reward. Cool, awesome.
報酬みたいなのもあるんで、だからまあ徐々に進んでいけるみたいな。
These bosses are slightly higher tuned than the normal variant dungeon bosses, just a tiny bit. You can decide which boss you want to start with. Let's say boss 3. After defeating it, you get a personal reward. You can stop there. You can practice each boss. Each boss has personal rewards. But of course, the final goal is to clear all 3 bosses in one sitting. If you beat all 3, there is a hidden room with extra rewards. Sweet. Okay, cool. That's all good. I like that.
しかもこれね個人報酬になってますんで報酬獲得できるし一度の挑戦で3体全部倒せればさらにボーナス報酬がありますよと。 でこちらのアドバンスドバリアントダンジョンなんですけど、
I mean, it sounds like a great way to use the bosses you've made, maybe even new bosses in the future. Do this with all the bosses you've ever made and create content. Because the exploration isn't exactly everybody's favorite cup of tea. Yoshipi's definition of a tiny bit higher. We all have a different. Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
ここまでで大丈夫ですか？バリアントダンジョン。
アドバンスドバリアント。
あ、まあそうね。アドバンス。
Oh, it could be, yeah. It'd be a very good daily roulette kind of thing. Because that'd just be a solid bit of content in and out.
特に若干、まあ例えば霊式とかってどうしても高難度コンテンツって言われるんですけど、まあやっぱこう昔から
You need 2 to 4 people for this. We thought about solo. It isn't suitable. That sounds fair. We made a lot of content.
Variant Advanced is gonna be a new date night activity. Duoing all the way.
Hell yeah. More duos. Absolutely. Thank you for the 41 months, Lady Vigil. We make a lot of content. Of course, Savage is high end, but we've always wanted and had the request to allow to practice individuals' phases. We thought for this advanced variant dungeon, since we already have 3 bosses anyway, we might add this feature. Additionally, changes to the Criterion dungeons as well. Sounds like he's still getting there.
すごく意識しているので、まあこういったアドバンスドバリアントダンジョンというものを作らせていただいております。
And since you would still have the variant dungeon skills, so you could go healerless.
またですね。これまでのフィードバックをもとに、
or tankless.
新たなコンテンツの構成に変更ということですね。もう一個ございます。もう一個ございます。で、
And then the new Criterion dungeons.
ということで、こちらはどうなったかというとですね、こちらも
Why are they doing these transitions all the? Is this what the crew was buzzing around about?
特化型なんですけど、こちらがですね、ステータスもギミックも、
With no exploration, this high difficulty duty features even more challenging variations of the 3 boss battles from the normal variant dungeon, with increased strengths and more punishing mechanics. So no trash? No weird stealth puzzle thing?
でまあこちらハード向けということですね。こちら蘇生手段が
Slightly mixed, but overall.
状況の中で
Okay. This is the boss rush. Okay, I feel fine about that, though I'm a little sad, but fine. Yeah, we did Soapy, and then we tried to get to the next boss, and we ran out of time. I like the concept of it, but after doing such a challenging boss, one of the last things I wanted to do that night was play stealth mode.
ちゃんとボスペアごとには区切ってあるんで、よし1体目やったから気構えて2体目行くぞみたいな感じで、まあ3連戦を綺麗に突破していただくという。
Kind of a shame they're moving away from high difficulty ads. I thought it had potential. It can be very interesting. I think it's more involved in a WoW Classic kind of situation where CC, order and controlling the enemies is more important than where you pull them and how you position them. I don't think Final Fantasy XIV is that kind of game, at least not anymore. I know I still have a sleep spell, but I never use it. I just don't think it's that kind of game anymore. I've been seeing some stuff, mainly because I follow Preach, about Fellowship. Does Fellowship have trash that is strategically viable?
なります。だからまあアドバンスドバリアントダンジョンだけでも完結はしているので、
Ads, faces, and bosses are a blast. That's a very, very different thing.
だと思います。はい。というわけで、これが今回のバリアントダンジョン昇格物語のまあ全体図なんですけど。ちょっとまとめて表で確認してみたいかな。
And that game has only dungeons. Yeah, I got to play it a bit in the past. I've played it solo. I signed up for their beta years and years ago, and played a little bit of it. At that time, it was not a toxic experience. That's why I'm kind of hearing about it right now, is it gets a little toxic in there. It was just completely overwhelming, and we all had no idea what we were doing. So this is the breakdown. Explore a dungeon, branching, 1 to 4 players, difficulty adjusting, 90 plus, level sync to 100. Party formation any. Advance, fight stronger versions, 3 bosses any order, obtain rewards, 2 to 4 players, 100 any. And Criterion dungeons, fight even stronger versions of all 3 bosses in a set order, high difficulty, 4 players, 100, 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 DPS, or any formation of pre-form party. Yes, they said no trash. You go from boss to boss to boss. There is no trash mobs this time. Why? Yeah, it looks like overall on the emojis here, people are sad about that. I guess it is a big part of how it was perceived. It was previously presented, but I've really only heard it about the pockets of, I love Variant Dungeons as a puzzle game, and then Criterion people just like slammed it as difficult content for their 3 friends. But I never heard anything about like, oh, I love the puzzle, I like the trash, I like the multiple pathways. It was just, oh cool, 4-man hard content. I do like getting to use AoE abilities on Samurai. I am perfectly fine with all trash disappearing while playing Astrologian. But that's one button, you know. Criterion is only hard content with ads, though, which is a novelty now. They were hard. They did hit hard. I had to actually heal during them, which was fun. So maybe we can get that content somewhere else. Maybe we can still have harder dungeons. I mean, if we're working on all this scaled difficulty stuff, can I just have hard dungeons? Dungeons that are hard? Crank it? For sure they'll bring back trash in the next Criterion. I don't know with the flow here, though, of getting to practice the bosses in advance and then go straight into the boss rush. That sounds like a great time. Dungeons that are hard is what people want Criterion to be. That's fair. Because of the tome grind and my familiarity with the MSQ dungeons, I want a version of those hard because I already know everything inside. Looking at this from the outside, I say, oh, I don't know if I like the Variant Dungeon, but I like bosses, so give me this. So maybe I'm just kind of accepting it on paper because I don't know what it actually is. But I don't think Final Fantasy XIV trash has been particularly interesting outside of like A Realm Reborn. Amari says, I also brought it up in the raid chat, but yeah, people were sad about no trash. That's fascinating. That trash did hit really hard, but I didn't think it was beloved. Hard dungeons are just Bardam's Meadow with a tank. Yeah, or me tanking a Realm Reborn 8-mans without opening my coffers. It happens. Oh wow, those are pretty nice. Just the underwear hanging out the side of the dude, though. Just let him thigh it. It's what I want. That's a nice. Oh, the carpet texture is really nice. Yeah, exactly. Let that thigh fly wild and free. Raise restrictions apply. You have to beat the bosses in order. You have to go from one boss to the next. It's not like the new ones suddenly appear, just 3 in a row. The mechanics are more difficult this time, so Criterion will have even further upgrades in advanced variant dungeons. We applied the feedback we got in past variant dungeons, just like deep dungeons. We're looking forward to your feedback on the system. Might as well show you a boss. And then they go on to show a boss, and now we're here at the flying carpet. So that begs the question, what feedback were they responding to that they got rid of trash that now people are sad? Was it regional? Such a limited pool of players, I'm sure, at least from what you hear. There are more than these, but these are some of the rewards. Please freely explore the variant dungeons at first, enjoy the story. Since you didn't believe those screenshots earlier were real, I'll have to show you it during the next PLL. Please look forward to it. Now for some loot updates. The same feedback that asked for Kaiden. I can't see. So when I went to Media Tour, I sat next to an individual who kept going, oh, I see. Wow. And I was like, who the hell is that? Why do I know their voice? And it was Wes Galber. And I thought from his various wows over the course of the day, I was like, are you Wes Galber? Holy shit. I love your videos. Why? What's the deal with Kaiten? I did 2 things to Wes Galber. I said, I love your videos, and I asked him why Kaiten was removed and why is it a big deal. I never got to play Samurai with Kaiten, so I don't know. It was before my time. That's what I hear, is it looked good, and that's the real sads. Refer to Garrett and Plunge, sure. Yeah, I know on paper it was removed due to button bloat, but if it looked cool, that is sad. New UI colors. Oh, well, but that's nice. Don't we only have like 3, like classic gray and white? Clear white? Why green? Wait, what 5 people are barfing? 6 people are... I can't say I have strong opinions about this. Hey, strategy board. We've talked about this for a while and we're finally implementing it. Thanks for waiting. We of course don't think everyone will create this, so you can create a code for a strategy board and share it. We have added the official markers to it, but we plan on expanding this in future and more free use. One thing I hadn't talked about so far, I guess they're going to lead into that. Cool. Two years later, I understand their hesitance because there certainly have been a lot of features in any video game that were a spectacular waste of time because an alternative website covered it. Like in-game voice chat in a MOBA. Wow. Call you on Discord, team. Has to be good or better. Yeah, exactly. Will it play, though? How will it pin? I actually have quite a few questions now that it's coming out. I see a lock symbol on there, so that means I can put it up in a corner and leave it on my screen? Because if so, that's good, but does that mean I also have to have the other menu open and then go click to the next room or phase?
いろんなその14のオフィシャルマーカーを使ってどんどんこう作っていけるようにしてあるんですけど、まあ今後はねさらに拡張させてもっとフリーな使い方みたいな感じでしていけたらなと。
I mean, honestly, I don't think it'd be too hand-holdy if it auto-updated based on the room. You know, the boss explodes, they change the floor. That'd be pretty sick, but I could click a button too. That'd be cool as if the, if the arena could be your mini-map for targeting your marks. That'd be really cool for like progging. So you wouldn't have to aim in the 3D space. I love pinging on mini-maps. I think mini-maps are incredible. What's this now? We call this the quick panel. This seems useful. I could recover a lot of real estate on my bars. New UI feature, command panel.
でこちらまあ開発の経緯としてはですね、皆さんのフィードバックを
Because I'm basically out of space.
新しいインターフェースを作ろうと
I even made one of those collapsible bar tricks, and that just took my bars away even further. It actually didn't save me any bar space. It saved me screen real estate. New UI element inspired by your feedback. Anything that can be added to a hotbar may be allocated to the command panel. Comprised of 4 separate panels with 25 slots each. Oh, so I can just make a big fat pile of all the weird shit that I keep on the side. Sweet. Nice. Yeah. Solid. I welcome it. A convenient location for the functions you only want to display some of the time. Emotes, gear sets, macros, while saving space on your hotbars and HUD. And it does not have a lock, so looking at this, I wouldn't use this for any sort of weird duty tie-in, but that, again, I'm recovering like, what do I see? Probably 4 full bars on my screen alone. Yeah, finally a place to put all my stupid stuff. Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of stupid stuff, or just a job change. Because, yeah, I change it, but not fluidly in battle or anything. I hope you can widen it, make it less boxy. That'd be cool if you could lay out the shape of it, so you could leave it in the top corner more easily, but... Yeah, maps, wondrous tales. Put your compass in there, maybe. One page for all the old abilities you still have. I've seen people's layouts of things they refuse to let go.
25×4 枚あるんで、違うタブにね、しまってまおうと。入れちまえ。そうそう。入れちまえ。すっ。ね。Oh, how usable it'll be with a controller? I have no idea how you would navigate over to it. Because I know you can enter like I'm a mouse mode and go click things. Yeah, that's a weird question. クイックパネルの起動ボタンというのを新たに Now, if we put the command panel buttons here, he's got no inventory. I know you're asking why we're trying to explain this using a PowerPoint. It's still a bit buggy. I'll show you it in the next PLL. So you see the emotes and the gear sets on the right? We put those gears sets into the panel.
And we're adding the emotes to the next tab.
使うから並べておこうってやっぱやりがちじゃないですか。でもなんか気がついたら4ヶ月これ教えねえみたいな結構あると思う。
A handy place to keep shortcuts for macros, items you only use even now and then.
瞬時に呼び出して、
I guess my macros could just live in the macro. What does that look like?
でこれは本当その皆さんの使い方っていうのは
Yeah, I could just grab out of here, so save some space again.
まあ表示しっぱなしでもいいやっていう方は表示しっぱなしとしても使えますし、今お話したように常に画面をできるだけすっきりさせたいので
Good for RP events? Yeah, absolutely.
自動的に閉じて使う時だけ一瞬呼び出して使ってみたいな
UI design is my passion.
形で
That and cleaning out my glamour chest.
吉田クイックパネルの
You can't activate macros from macro. Oh, that's an interesting thought. I was more thinking of like dragging them in and out of there. But yeah, if everything's interactable in there, which, you know, what would be the point of putting emotes in there if you had to drag them onto your bar when you want them?
そうなんですよ。ホットバーがね、これで開くじゃないですか。そっちにちょっとね、割り当てていただいて。まあ当然ね、アクションもね、入れられますんで。そうですよね。ジョブアクション。
Watched on honeymoon at 1 a.m. in Hawaii equals best PLL ever.
Well, hell yeah, Tiny Greens.
はい。
1 a.m. That's so sweet. Congratulations. You can change the option to keep it open at all times, close it after you've used something. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a cute idea. Pop it open, hit the button, and then it automatically closes. Already saw something I didn't want to see. Why is chat asking me for more pages in the quick panel already? Feature isn't even in game yet. With too many pages, you might forget where the button was. Of course, I'll show you how to use it a bit better in the next PLL. So, this update. Okay, we're leading to the next update. More! Damn it! 100's still quite a bit. But, you know, when you get into custom stuff. But wait, there's more.
その UI に親しんできた方たちはその無理にじゃなくてもいいんですけど、使いこなすととても便利だと思いますので、ぜひちょっと次回の PLL そのパッチ 7.4 特集パート2
Oh, we jumped a little bit ahead in time.
その操作の実際の映像っていうのをまあ実際リアルタイムにちょっとお届けできたらなと。
Yes.
よろしくお願いいたします。
そしてですね、まだあるんですけど、まだあるんですけど、まあ今日ご紹介するのは次がちょっとラストなんですけど、まあちょっとスクリーンショットこちらはご覧いただいた方が分かりやすいかなと思います。お願いします。
お願いします。
こういうアップデートがあります。
Now for the bit that is everyone frothing.
お気づきだろうか。あれ簡単
Thank you, Lady Pitchell. just oh, what is this we have here? Oh, how did this happen? How strange.
こんな感じになるでしょう。
Yeah, we were talking. I already heard the break glass line of thinking here, but I'm very, very excited about this. I'm extremely excited about this because I love cleaning out my glamour chest, and I have a lot of very, very, very similar things that look almost exactly the same because I want to look the same sometimes. So I get to have a huge cleansing party. Oh yeah, the crafter things too. Yeah, some of those crafter things are freaking badass, like the spacesuit. They usually die different. I need space. I'll survive the lack of dye. I really need the space. Taryn, that's a perfectly valid take. I did experience a joy when I found a red mage hat that wasn't for bard or something like that. However, there were also some bard hats I just wanted to wear on my red mage. Use any gear in your glamours, irrespective of class, job, or level restriction. Oh, no level restriction, really? Really? Oh, huh. I mean, I guess in this game, because you've already got it. Really? That's the one that actually really surprises me for some reason. I don't know why that surprises me so much. Yeah, but this is a streamer problem. I'd be given really, really cool weapons, and they'd be like 60 levels away from ever being able to use them. So that's really cool. But it was also a bit of a carrot on a stick. So that one I'm kind of like, oh, that was my personal carrot on a stick, but not a big deal. Please note that due to the impact of animations, weapons, and tools can only be equipped with the corresponding class. Two-handed swords can only be glamored to another two-handed sword. Fine. That's fine. I am coping hard. Wait, that's a personal note. Well, I did release a post about modding community a few weeks ago. And I get that FF is changing over time. I do want everyone to enjoy the game. So we're doing an update on glamoring. So far, you couldn't glam high-level gear on a job you're still leveling. We're removing that restriction. We didn't want to push this back, so 7.4. And of course, everyone's asking for more space in the glam dresser instantly. Limitation breeds creativity. I would much rather have glam plates before dresser space, but I'm a weirdo who enjoys working in the confines of my dresser. I'm more just excited to clean it out. I have so many copies of similar shit in there. I would love to clean it out. And I do think the stacking items thing was really fun.
Glam for the win. Level/job restrictions will help immensely.
I agree. I think it's a really cool idea. I mean, that's just raw content. But yeah, we can talk when this is over, but the idea of that being a break glass, I'm not sure I agree with that. That just seems like a good time. The housing, we're in the last steps, but we need until 7.5. That's the Tartarus housing, right? That people have been talking about, the small that can have an interior. Now give us one glamour plate for each job. That is a restriction. Yeah, I like working inside confines, but having a full list of glamour plates for every job, that'd be preferable. Even though I guess some of them would now be the same. So let me copy them between, now I'm in Request Town. And doubling the items place limit. Yeah, that'll be really fun. I wish I could attach different hairstyles to different glam plates. 500% yes. When I changed out of my disco outfit and I still had a mustache, that was a sin. It needed to be cleansed as fast as possible. Explaining why the update takes so long. CPU overload if 1.5 the items. Basically, the optimization is heavily revolved around the CPU memorization and applying the slots there to use to the CPU to memorize it. Server engineers should be more knowledgeable on this, so we will not provide too much information on this to prevent misinformation. He does call the CPU Kun. Need to add wigs? Wait, why would you? Wouldn't the... It's magic hair. Why would... What would be the purpose? Unless you wanted to, like, no clipped hair through it.
目が血走ってってなっちゃうんで、今まずそのとにかく配置できて管理できる数を最後追い込んで最適。
Beard and mustache face. Well, we have the Christmas outfit.
S サイズの方も設置数増えるし、M サイズ。
Oh, you mean like the glasses slot? Like, okay, yeah. So a wig slot.
これができたらいよいよ中身を。
But take hair and add it to the. I don't need that part.
その家具だけじゃなくて。
Cool. I'm down with this now.
同時にお届けしようとして最後の最適化の追い込みに入って。
What we need is beards. I agree. It usually doesn't bother me. I don't think it. I mean, I don't know. Val doesn't have a beard. That's just. There are some stylish elves and properties with beards, but it's not something I normally go for. However, when we get to like a Pokemon game, I definitely would like to express my age with a beard a bit. Sid has a beard. That is true. He's not an elf. Refuse to acknowledge that elves can grow facial hair. A wisp. But you know, like a really chiseled beard. Val with a full lumberjack, I agree. The fact that I can even pull off that hideous mustache should not happen.
Bring back the belts.
Bring back the belt. If they advance their belts were taken away to make space so that they could, but now belts on a glasses slot. That's not a bad idea. They weren't an invisible accessory slot. Okay, so there's not a lot to recover if we bring back belts, but the idea of having a belt is nice. More belts. I was impressed when I first started the game that there was even necklaces. If there's demand, I'll translate later and translate the best of my ability. We're done with that. I think we can work on plates. So there's an order to things. We want to increase public field content. What the heck is public field content? Yeah. Have Fates ever updated in an expansion? Or has what you've gotten in the box product always been the hunt train till the end of the expansion?
そうですね。だいぶの数ご応募いただいてるんですけど、忘れちゃうとその抽選もね飛んじゃうので、ぜひですね。まだそういえばまだ申し込んでなかった。
ARR had more variety. Are you talking about like the
ぜひお忘れないように
the horrifying weird shit? Like when you would walk into the woods and all of a sudden you had to collect berries off the ground, but there were 20 different kinds of trees attacking you. They were varied. For my solo playtime in A Realm Reborn, when I ran into them, I was terrified and I had no idea what I was doing.
なかなかですね。なかなかですね。はい。なかなかな。できるだけ多くの方に来ていただけるように、はい。規模を上げて、なんとかしようとしております。
Defense fates? I love the idea of tower defense and defending a thing, but I feel like it never really works out well in an MMO. My favorite is probably classic WoW on top of the temple was it Zol Grub or something like that? Black Morass was ass. It's a pillar of the content I did to get to Karazhan.
Let's also
and I
bring back Shell and Protect.
I don't know what that is. I know what that is thanks to Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered, but what the hell was Shell and Protect? Stone Skin? I know all these. Black Morass was only good for the music. Were group defense buffs? Oh no. Let's not. So what was it, essentially a addle, like a party-wide kind of thing that you would do for the sake of hard content? And like, I'm gonna do my shell and defense now you do yours and I'll do this, and we'll see if we can beat this hard boss.
In Realm Reborn, healers had the spells Shell and Protect. They were 30-minute buffs that had to be cast at the beginning of every dungeon.
And if you died, they went away? I do like casting buffs. That is... Because eventually you go, I love casting buffs, but it sucks that I have to spend this gold cost candle to cast it. Take away the cost. Cool, here's the cast. Awesome. Why do I have to press a button now? It's an aura. Well, I mean, the aura, like, I have to activate it and toggle it on and off. You know what, actually? When you join a party, the buff automatically applies based on the class you have, and you get 1% bonus dungeon damage if you don't have two of the same buff because you're running with two. Yeah. I like buffs too. And then you make it a passive on its time.
The spell was Protect, and Shell was a trait that White Mage had. SCH and WHM both could up defense, but only WHM could up mag defense.
Oh, see, that's the kind of unique shit. Like, we got to get a White Mage. Who has a White Mage? We got to get him in here. This is a specialty fight. Who has Fire Protect? Like, when you get into elements, it's so cool. It's so cool, but it's such shit. That's so miserable. What a terrible scenario for any game designer to be in, because I love the idea of being like, is anyone a shaman? They're doing so much fire damage. We need elemental resist. But once you have it, you're completely uninterested. Yeah, which lock was which curse? Yeah, it's such fun stuff. When it's solved, it's solved. But when it's not, it's fun. And it's such a motivating factor to have ults and stuff. Like, you know, leveling up multiple tanks for different fights. Impossible scenario. I missed the idea of it, but not the reality. Like branching dungeon paths, being able to pick the wrong hallway in a dungeon, right? It's so thematic, it's so beautiful on paper. Now, Stag, you're just making me miss like treat priest individual spells. Like when I look in the past and I see the spell, like you had to level up Paladin to get a spell on your White Mage. That stuff is cool as shit. But in a game with more than 50 levels, no, thank you. But so cool.
Daily reminder: the reason White Mages get a free unicorn at level 30 is because Scholar was endgame meta, so nobody played heals in sub 30 dungeons.
and they just left it in. They did a whole mountain just to try to get people to play healer. Did it work? Yeah, tanks do have a mount. That's true. Garrett got a mount and I didn't. Seems like you would just stop playing the tank when it was over, right? Worked on me. Fair.
I dunno. Do you have a unicorn?
I don't. I do not. No, I don't work mage. Yeah, Korik, I agree with any time I come across a game with actual stat distribution, I usually look it up. I didn't look it up in Expedition 33. I enjoyed that one. Solo play is a bit different. But in a game like Dark Souls, where you feel like, well, also Expedition 33 was very clear. You could respec anytime you want. I guess in an MMO, you could respec. I think in an MMO, I would rather just not ever choose my stats. I think spell buffs need to be conditional, like you have to take X amount of damage before it can be activated. That's a cool idea. That'd be a fine way to flavor different ones away from each other. Dark Souls, you can't abandon the character and start over. That is true. That is true. That's what I had to do many, many times in Diablo 2 before I beat it. There is an element of MMOs that I feel like should always be able to be played while you're not actively
Make
sitting
spells
at the
only
computer.
at the market board. Smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
It would drive an economy. It's books. It happened in WoW. It drove an economy. It motivated players. I think the crafters have enough to do. I think the crafters have far enough to do. They have their time to shine. We're living in their world anyway. Yeah, love the idea of that. If you're not familiar with World of Warcraft, there was a concept of inscriptions, which was the idea you had a crafter who could affect a spell, either visually or even stat-wise when it originally came out. That was a really, really cool idea and a cool thing to sell in the auction house. Spell making from Oblivion? I freaking love spell making in Oblivion. I will hear no bad verbiage about Oblivion. Oblivion was the greatest games I ever played. Nowadays, did I buy the remaster? No. No, I don't need to. I played it enough.
In the day, classes got stats they could distribute by choice from 1 to 50. Optimally in main stat. SCH and SMN have different main stats. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. So wait, how did that? So you would you free it up when you change jobs? But how did that work? You had to spend points to rework them? Wow. You had to split stats? Yeah, you wouldn't do that. Because I 100%ed Oblivion. I didn't need to go back. I had a vampire wizard wearing the holy armaments. Thief Master. he was a mess. And he was the ugliest thing I had ever made in a video game, but I loved him. Did I become a werewolf too? Did that happen? Or is that a different game? Did Oblivion have werewolves? I definitely turned into a vampire. I don't think both happened. No, I wasn't a swearwolf. Or whatever it was in Underworld, where he was the perfect being because he got the vampire and the werewolf blood thing going on. We're all dangerously close to leveling Archer as Black Mage.
Your stats were linked to class, not job. Arcanist, Marauder, Gladiator. Arcanist was the only class with 2 jobs, then the class system was abandoned.
Class? So, wait, what the hell does class mean? All healers? As long as you were in the same Holy Trinity spot, you kept your stats? I'm not sure what class means in regards to... Oh, you're talking about the third... Oh. Wait, so it was just... So it just didn't work for that one particular double set of jobs? I forget the younger things are called classes because it never comes up. So that one so they just messed up that one particular version of it. Wow, that's ridiculous. Sorry if anyone's super into the merch. There wasn't much to see in that particular lead out as we started hanging out about the good old days. Let's see here. The symphony was what they went over. The merch stuff. There wasn't any camping gear, so I didn't get excited. Starting Tuesday, I'll be playing FF14 for 90 hours nonstop. Playtesting. It does get pretty lonely when I do it at night. You want a 14-hour broadcast? We wanted to do it, but absolutely didn't work scheduling-wise this year. And next year, we all have FanFest. But we want to prioritize the game, but we hope to have things like fan gatherings again one day. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon. And then looks like they've been typing a lot while we've been hanging out here. Oh, is this their big translation? Oh, wow. Oh, so this is the full translation of the housing stuff, I guess. All right, let's see. Right now, I'm seeing everyone from housing side feel jealous here, but we are currently entering the final stage of optimization push to increase the placement item limit and additional slots for outdoor furnishing and indoor furnishing. I'm sorry that it ended up taking that much time, and I'm very sure we can get it done by patch 7.5. I'm confident that we are able to increase the outdoor furnishing, indoor furnishing placement amount by 1.5, and we are currently entering the final stage of optimization. Currently, we're focused on speeding up servers, and that's what we're doing right now. Oh god, they included you see, basically, so-called number of objects that could be played, meaning that the players place these objects are information we obviously have to manage on our servers. Of course, this is given when a player logs out of the game. I mean, they have to log out, right? So this means that when the amount becomes 1.5 times higher than the total volume, our beloved CPU-kun has to keep track of all that. And you can imagine our CPU-kun goes, yeah, and ah, with the kind of workload. Under normal operations, we can manage it somehow, sure. But let's say when maintenance happens, and we have to restart the servers, for example, if we want to turn off CPU-kun's power, we can imagine CPU-kun will just go blank-faced at you. Now imagine me go, now CPU-kun, rise from your slumber so that you can welcome our Lord players to the game. When that happens, CPU-kun will have to go through the process to memorize everything all over again. And when the volume is now 1.5 times higher, the CPU-kun will hold its head and go, wah, which causes the time it takes to open the server getting higher. Yep, that's exactly it. In other words, and to put it simply, we're optimizing them so that the server memorizes them quicker than what we're currently doing. And when you see, since we have so many worlds, if we get into the case where we need to perform the emergency maintenance for whatever reason that comes up, like taking it down for a second and fixing it right away, it will end up taking 3 times as long or something like that. What a beautiful, beautiful explanation. Plus, this was mentioned in the past, but I mentioned something about how you can get your housing interior to be glamored into large size regarding your current housing size, size L, size M, and size S, right? Well, the system almost completely, actually, it's finished. But there's the thing. Assuming everyone switches to large size, this will also cause a number of furniture slots placements to increase, right? In this case, CPU-kun would, well, imagine if CPU-kun had to perform 2 of these tasks simultaneously. This means CPU-kun would already, yeah. Imagine CPU-kun's eyes would go bloodshot and wringing my neck because of all the suffering. So for now, we're going to work on the final stage of optimizing the numbers where players could place and manage, and then increase these numbers. That way we can increase the amount.
CPU-kun just needs a hug.
He needs to calm down. He's bloodshot and screaming. The amount suffers for the small size homeowners. The same goes for M size, and finally large size owners as well. So we really need to get this part done properly first. Once this is done, we can finally work on allowing players to be able to change their interior sizes while ignoring the housing size. We're aiming to deliver not only this for indoor housing, but also outdoor furnishings simultaneously. So we're definitely in the final push for the optimization. So it would be greatly appreciated if players could just wait a little more. We're working and determined to make it happen without players having to get this update from the next expansion. And once we're done with this, we can finally move them into glamour plates. And so on. By the way, this is my inflection, but I think this is pretty accurate. One by one in order. The plates are the same as well. You can imagine the servers go, over this. Of course, being able to swap them instantly means will involve some form of server communication and other factors. Some parts omitted. Well, beyond that, we're also wanting to add more content, especially with the future challenge, where we want to add more things we could do in public fields. You are aware that we only display current buffs to 30 in the screen right now, yes? We really want to optimize that and do something about it, making it possible to develop more ways to play. Well, this would involve future content, and I might be getting ahead of myself here, but we plan to optimize things in order, step by step like this, making everyone's experience a lot more comfortable. For now, glamoring is going to be the huge change, and we are now working on the final phase of optimizing the housing here. So I'd appreciate everyone's support on the matter. Public fields, likely referring to zones, not cities. You know, the places where you do fates and sightseeing logs and take G poses. Poor guy. That was a beautiful description. I'm so happy he was willing to give us the technical in and outs of what happened there. I can't speak to my knowledge of what any of that means, but that sounds very real to me, and I accept it. I also think he's 100% right that the majority of homeowners would immediately set things to large and deal with the consequences, particularly if there's more housing items. Over time, we'll see more people want to go cozy, but at first, everyone's going to want a mansion. I feel like removing restrictions on glams might ease up the tech load. Huh. How do you mean, Flames? Like if we, like me throwing out a bunch of different objects and decreasing.
In the day, each job CDs were keyed to different abilities. Use Hallowed Ground, switch to Scholar, Lustrate is on a 10-minute cooldown, ha 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 ha.
Wait. Velas, what are you talking about? Could you change jobs in combat? Wouldn't you have no mana? What the hell does that mean? Not in combat. Oh, but the cooldown would still be up if you changed? You also didn't reset. I've heard that one about not resetting cooldowns when you wipe. When there's 30-minute cooldowns involved, that can be very crunchy and strategic. The idea of popping your huge cooldown and then wiping is dramatic, but there were definitely tons of scenarios where you're like, all right, it's time to pull for real. No more practice. Let's all take 10 so I have all my cooldowns. Use a 2-minute buff on your job and then switch jobs. Or I guess in this case, right, if you used a half-hour cooldown on one tank and you're like, I want to pull again, you could switch to a different tank so you could still have cooldowns. Yeah, those are long, but yeah, they still reset on death, right? I mean, is there any cooldown that's over 10 minutes in this game? The game used to be really fascinating, for sure. My only real regret is that I didn't get to play original Astrologian.
Correction, that system is still in place. Warriors Inner Release, Paladins Imperator, and Gunbreaker's Bow Shock currently share a cooldown.
Okay, yeah. Hollow Ground is the longest at 7 minutes. This is for real mechanic. Yeah, exactly. And we sat on our asses while the tank waited for Shield Wall to come back up in 2007? 2007? Watch Astrologian get another rework. If nothing else, it'll be fascinating so that I can learn even more about the history of Astrologian. Stormblast. I don't know the difference, honestly. When was energy removed? Or stamina, or whatever the hell it was called. Mr. Backseat Bones. Well, that's it. So this is coming out on... So I have this listed as the predicted late date, but I have no idea if that's true or not, or if we've been in late dates for a while. But they said this was December 16th. Early on in this event. And then we have Savage releasing on Tuesday, January 6th. So when we get back from our little New Year's break, that'll be our second stream we do, is watching Race to World first. That'd be a fun way to kick off the year. Yeah, TP. That was it. TP. Yeah, Shadowbringers. Okay, I always forget that. I know I get told it often, but for some reason, the idea of TP seems like something that would have fallen off. End of Heaven's Ward would be my assumption. That sounds like such an insane idea. Yeah, I probably still had late predicted date because I was going from the beginning of the year with all the predictions, so I have... Do I even have a... And that would be July. And then FanFest is in... When is FanFest? I should know. I bought plane tickets. I'm staring at my starred and not my actual ones. April. Yeah, I've registered for tickets. I have plane tickets. I will be there. We will be conducting a meetup and doing Disney on Sunday. As for entering the event, I can't guarantee. But I will be there. Trying to convince Garrett to do a couple's cosplay with me. The bromance cosplay. I'll offer to be Hythlodeus for him, but I'm not sure I'd shave. So I'd just be Hythlodeus with facial hair. Biggs and Wedge. Which of us is the tall wedge? Hythlobeardus? Purple facial. You know what? That's a good way to get by it. I don't have the beauteous facial structure to pull off Hythlodeus. I'm willing to shave. It's not really that. It's more that crossing into the barrier of even trying to look as beautiful as that man, it's just not worth it. I might as well keep the facial hair. I mean, if we were just straight up like cosplay gods, I would happily be his Dark Knight spirit if he went in full Dark Knight, but I don't think he has a full Dark Knight outfit. We'd have to get him a really big sword too. I don't think we owned one of those. To pull it off? Yeah, I've watched a lot of Dress Up Darling. I'd have to get the hair and really bring it in my face in order to bring in, the chin. Really, really sharpen my chin with some clever hair trickery. Hildy and Godbert? We'll see how my body's doing at that point. Assy and Ancient? Yeah, I know. You could. And then everyone could be that, Do something a little fancy. Furion and Guy. That's true. We do have all the pixel remasters to pull from. And go as a little gnome Sid. There are options. So obviously, the biggest thing of all this was probably the glamour chest. Almost nothing said about... We didn't get a date for the next live letter, did we? Did Mr. Happy declare a date for the next live letter? Because we don't have a lot of time. Yeah, there's not a lot of time for even a live letter to be done. December 2nd. Yeah, that's... Well, that would be December 2nd on a Tuesday? Did second live letters come out on Tuesday? Maybe I'm just confused. December 7th. Wait, I have that as a Sunday. 5th. Okay. Cool, that tracks. Right after Octopath Traveler 0. We'll be in the thick of Final Fantasy IV at that point. After Thanksgiving. Brood Bomber and the Wolf Guy. That's my favorite morning zoo routine. I'm excited for FF4 too. FF4 TOO. I'm excited for a lot of things. I'm excited to get back to Warframe. I'm excited to do the end game of Claire Obscure. I know Garrett's having a rockin' time in Japan. And next week, Monday, I'm going to be doing some Warframe. And Thursday, I'm going to be doing some Claire Obscure. But I look forward to our continued adventures. I've been having so much fun on the co-op couch playing through these games. It's been an absolute delight. Which version? Pixel Remaster, probably. I hear there's like fully voice acted stuff in one of the versions, but we've been doing Pixel Remaster so far, and it's such a great entry point.
Frames of War, you say?
Frames of War, exactly. Monday. I believe I'm going to try to make a rhino. I'm sure it might have crafting time. I have no idea how that works. But I am excited to play some more Warframe without advancing the MSQ so when Garrett returns. I also heard there's a Warframe announcement today. I hear they're pretty spoiler heavy in the story department, so I won't be watching it. But I hear they're going to announce when their December update is. Yeah, I won't be watching. I'm only curious to know the date for that release. Top comment on the Reddit here is, oh my god, they fused Thancred and Oriange together. I would honestly be okay with that. That would be a fascinating plot point. I'd be all for it. Yeah, and they should, Spirit. You know, they should cater to their hardcores when it comes to streams. That's the way it should be. Otherwise, top post on the Reddit is huge change to the Glamour 7.4. Yoshi P got visited by the 3 ghosts of Glamour. He basically gave a soft confirm that they're looking at plates after the housing. Yeah, I would say that's true. The crafter glams have been unleashed. Glam Trail unleashed. My healers will never wear bathrobes again. I am free. I do like armored healers. At the very least, I want armored gloves. I never want to stub my toes or my elbows. This is the one about the 3 weeks till Savage release. They said that what people get, even though people will get more gear than usual, they won't be adjusting the difficulty. Thank God they listened. Nice. Christmas Savage was so shitty before. Yeah, big clean your dresser stream. I don't think that's something you can really focus on while streaming. I've tried before. We didn't get anywhere. We made it to a lot of nothing. Yoshi P, save Christmas. I hope Variant Dungeon advances the kind of mid-core content I was looking for. Finally, more 2-player content. No trash in Criterion is a huge L. That was the best part. It's like the only content to do besides DD that was interesting trash. Yeah, it's kind of weird how I missed the trash in WoW raids. Makes me feel like I was actually delving into a dungeon, not fighting enemies in some weird platform floating room space. I don't really miss the trash. I miss varied bosses, some of which I soft or hard countered by nature of their mechanics, but because there were so many in the quest downward, I just had bosses that were easy for me and I had bosses that were hard for me. And I did like that aspect of WoW. And it sounds like you just have to walk down the halls. So you're still going to have to walk to the individuals because each boss is still going to have its arena it wants to be fought in based on its mechanics. Neither is better, just different. It's true. I guess Advance is both a stab at creating mid-core content people have been asking for. I feel like mid-core has really lost its meaning after so many articles being written about it. It really is a term that changes based on the person saying it aloud. But I think I have a general... I don't... Because someone who talks a lot about mid-core content would call crafting soft-core content, but I think that's untrue. That's more just about how hard it goes. I think the real thing that's true is people like getting good at things. We got to interview the lead balance designer back when we covered Here's the Storm. And AZ Jackson was his name. He worked previously as a karate coach. And his philosophy was, on a base level, people want to feel like they've mastered something. And he always hid things in the balancing, patch updates, or in a kit that felt like it would take a long time to master. And I think that's the only real truth. There is an element of, it's not fun to master. It's just... Spoiler. Allison! I don't feel like we just got shale. Is it really that rare? Is this a big deal? I feel like it's not that big of a deal, right? We never did get AZ Jackson for the post and Walker, did we? No, you didn't. That's on us. He changed over to League of Legends. We still talk occasionally, and he still catches out the stream from time to time. It's always a pleasure talking to him. But no, we never made that formal appointment. There we go. There's the meme. This is just a graphics update. These are the same boss. You can play casual content like hardcore. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Some real celebration of the sweaty Lalafell. Maybe that's the button I get to slap as hard as I want to teleport between realms. Y'shtola in a witch Halloween costume. Sure, naturally. It's weird that it's happened twice. Who fears trains in this scenario? Well, fabulous. Well, thank you all for joining me for the live letter coverage here on Grinding Gear. It was a delight going through all the information with you. Looks like a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, I'm excited for the glamour stuffs coming. That's just going to be a good time to go through. I look forward to leveling up my samurai more in the future. I am currently planning on being samurai for any upcoming savage engagements. As I've mentioned, I didn't really feel like I clicked with healing in Savage. While I completed it, while I pressed the buttons, and there are elements like Sugar Riot that I really enjoyed healing. I think I really want to do DPS this next time around, so expect some streams, some leveling streams, a Westcalibur stream, Reacts video, learning stream with Samurai in the near future as I get that ready for Savage, whenever that may happen. We bat around a bunch of different dates. We might do it. We might try it around content. We may wait until it's unlocked. We have a lot of options, and it's very much going to depend on the schedule because we have a lot that's on the plate. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming our way. And I'm really excited to get to FF4. That'd be not next Thursday, but the Thursday afterwards. Sam is just fun. I really love Sam. My biggest regret in Endwalker is that I didn't face Xenos as Sam. Not doing the Halloween event. I'm gonna bust it out later. I have not had any lunch yet, to be perfectly honest, since I went to host to help out with the kindergarten parade. So I'm quite famished at the moment, and I'm gonna be on my way. But thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody supporting over on supportourbromance.com. Thank you, Mr. Backseat Bones, for being here today. It was a pleasure being joined by you. Thank you all for your supers, your messages, your memberships that activated via the Backseat Bones here. The text-to-speech is extremely helpful to me with dyslexia, getting those messages out in a decent time. If you caught my solo streams in the past, some messages have just gone by for a straight hour without me even recognizing them. So thank you all for your understanding with the text-to-speech and taking advantage of it, using it, and joining me today. Really excited for the new stuff. I'll see you Monday with some Warframe. Tuesday morning, maybe I'll see you there. It'll go up on the podcast feed as well. But Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. will be a call to Tokyo where we'll be joining Garrett in their evening, our morning. Wednesday, Stanley Parable, Solo Kyle, Patron's Choice. Thursday, Claire Obscure. Do I have a Friday thing? No, I'm putting out a video Friday. I need to go edit some stuff too. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween.